Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Worth a Damn Gaming. My name is Jake Starvik, your host, as usual, for our little podcast show. I am here, as usual, with my best pal, Street Rat Atlas. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. I'm, as I was just telling Jake just a moment ago, my audio software has updated, and now I'm just live testing shit and making sure that everything's okay. And I'm about to make sure that I'm live on my stream.
Isn't audio things grand?
They are.
Yeah,
All right,
think
I
need to
should
turn that
be.
down.
Hi,
There we go.
everyone.
That's much better.
Let the adventures of the ranged monk begin.
Oh, yes. Hello, Impulsive. You're in early today. Very nice. Must have some time off. By the way, happy Easter to everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful time and you're getting lots of chocolate eggs. Or Tonys, as my daughter seems to be getting this year.
What is she getting, sorry?
A Tony. Have you heard about
Tony?
these? Yeah.
No.
They are, I'll show you. They're these little toys. So you get a little like electronic box, and they're kind of like a storyteller. Oh, because of your cats. Well, I think it's time to put your cat down.
Oh.
I know, a bit harsh. I'm sorry. No, we love our cats. So this is what the Tonys are. So you get this little box here, and then you grab one of these little toys and you pop it on top, and they tell stories with some sound effects and stuff like that.
The Tony box.
Yeah. So she gets they're pretty cool. I haven't actually like sat down and played around with them because every time we do, she's always like grabbing it and playing with it as opposed to letting it tell the story, which is fine. She's one. I don't expect much out of her at this stage. But yeah, so you can get like Disney type characters. I think you've got your Star Wars and like other various things and whatnot. So pretty cool. They get expensive. This is actually the first time I'm actually looking at the thing, but we got it as a gift. So all we need to worry about are the little toys, which are cute. But Mom got her recently two little ones that are related to Peter Rabbit, and then something else. I haven't seen it yet.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the Disney ones. Because I've got a friend who has a Tony box with a few of the Disney toys. And you just pop them on. So like Aurora, if she has a
child labor,
crap.
Absolutely, yes. No,
He's not wrong.
She's got small hands. She's gonna be. I need to teach her how to build a small miniature PC, and then we'll just get her in the factory working or making iPhones. Something tech related.
Perfect.
Or we can get her picking cocoa beans. I hear they need more African kids there. So we can just send one of the white chicks. And then we can make dark chocolate and white chocolate and make regular chocolate.
My God.
I know. Things that go, oh my God, good. This dog. This is the third time I have to keep closing the damn door. Either that or teach my dog how to close the door. That would be nice. How are you? How have you been?
I've been good. Just some concerns today with Leo.
Uh-oh. I don't like that. Yeah. What's going on? Everything okay?
I think one of his teeth has been pushed. So he's got some irritation. But he needs
like
to have...
up into the gum?
No, out. Just before stream.
How?
He kept licking, and I was like, what is happening?
No.
So it's fine. He needs to have minor surgery soon anyway, so it's fine. they're going to do dental on him, so I'm sure they can look at it. It's just stressful.
Yeah, usually is.
He's been a stressful little ball of joy lately, and yeah, it's okay.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
Being a pet owner and being a father, or just being a parent in general, is just fucking fun. So we went out for a walk with Piper because now she's walking a lot more. So we'll take her, pop her either in a pram or the little bike that she's got. And after like 5-10 minutes, she's losing her fucking shit. She's like, let me out of this thing. So you have to take her out because she's independent enough where she's like, ha ha ha, and she just starts, strolling along beside us, which is really cool. So it's like, okay, that's fine. If that's what you want to do, awesome. It's harder when it's just by yourself and you have to deal with her and the dog. So we don't kind of do that, but I did it the other day. It's been fun. But today we went out. She was walking and she had this, like a cardigan on, which it started falling off. So she had like one sleeve almost out of her, like off her wrist. And she slipped, fell, and literally like a banana, she just went face planting into the concrete.
Oof.
It was funny to watch. Like, as a human being, you're like, wow, it's like those videos I watch, but oh shit, it's my daughter. Crap. So she's fine. She's got a little bit of a mark, like a scratch mark on the side of her face. And everyone's like, oh, no. Time to get a cane. Just beat the shit out of her. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a rough week with her though. I think she's been teething again and a little bit of constipation as well, which we've given her some stuff for that just to help ease that. But she just gave us a shitty week. Both Kate and I have just basically been getting up at 2-3 a.m. with her, losing her shit, not falling asleep or not staying asleep. There was one day where I literally just got out of bed at like 4, took her, and it was I started the day super early, and yeah, just went all the way till the rest of the kind of night, which makes that my stream on Wednesday. By the end of it, I was so exhausted. Like, I'm actually feeling myself, and I'm looking at myself in the camera going, I am actually falling asleep here. This is not good. And I've gone from being really energetic to very quiet in a span of like 3 hours. It's, yeah. Fun being a parent.
The joys.
Just buy the new DN toy for active children.
Don't impulsive. Don't do it. Not for children.
What's a DN toy?
Not for children.
Now I'm curious. I'm trying to look this up. What is Oh, you silly cookie. You silly cookie.
I knew it was coming.
Oh, you know him too well. But yeah, other than that, it's been pretty good. How about yourself? Other than Leo?
Yeah, good. I did a couple of extra streams this week because just the week lined up. And so Tuesday and Thursday night, I played Pokepedia.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm now building in Pallet Town, which is your open map area that you can just build freely on the land. And I've built my own little apartment complex.
Okay.
And I was going through it and I was like, oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. By the end of it, I was like, fuck, I've done a really good job with this. This looks so good. So I'm really proud of myself.
Okay.
I almost spoiled it because I got him last Wednesday. That's so true. You did.
That's not open. Is that open? No.
But I've done mainly chill streams with Pokepedia, where I'm just putting like some jazz music on and just playing. Very chill. It's easy to lose track of time when you're playing.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, wow, this took me 4 hours to build and another 4 to continue.
Yep.
Nuts.
These nuts.
These nuts. Wednesday, I continued playing Mass Effect.
How are you finding that?
And I did really good.
Yeah?
The sprinting is just really annoying. But
I know.
Aside from that, I've done Feros. So I've defeated the hive monster that's been around for centuries.
I'm trying to remember that bit.
You go to a planet that's run by Xgeny?
Yep.
Like some corporation. They're doing something and the people are like, what's happening? And you can tell that there's something going on that the corporation's not telling you. The Geth are there attacking, and you're like, why is the Geth here? What are they looking for? Me being me, I'm like, okay, what the fuck is happening? What do you have that you're using? Find out that there's a subject 27, which is the Throlian. And you find out that
Thorian.
A lot of the people... Thorian, thank you.
Yep.
They were affected by the spores of the plant. And I really enjoyed that mission.
Nice.
I had my first run with the Mako.
Yep, the Mako.
That was really fun once I figured it out how to use it. But the story just keeps giving.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I just want to keep playing. I just want to know more. Like, what is Saren planning? And because the Thorian had an Asari as... So I did the boss mission and it kept bringing out different clones.
Yep.
As like different waves. And I was like, I really enjoy this style. It's not a traditional style boss fight. It's a lot more, no, you need to get through this guy. This ancient being is going to keep bringing things to you to slow you down. I do like that when your party does fall, they get up after a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
Yeah. Like you can rescue them or you can heal them, but yes.
Yeah. So I do have... So my build is really weird. I am doing a bit of an open build. So I am a healer. I'm full sentinel. I'm increasing my charm. Intimidate is going to be another skill that I get into. I've got 3 in there so far.
Okay.
Just to get more dialogue and just fuck around with these conversations that I'm having. Because I really am enjoying the conversations. There's just so much...
That's a big part of it. Yeah, absolutely.
100%. There's so much thought out. So I'm like, I want to have conversations. I want to be able to intimidate someone and unlock further conversations. I want to get discounts when I do shopping because fuck me, things expensive.
Yes.
But I've done some side missions on Feros, except for the ones that are planet-based. So I did getting Elizabeth, getting her reunited with her mum. I got the data for one of the guys because he wants to sell the information. I'm like, you can have the information, but where's my money? And he's like, well, here you go. Thank you for the data. I'm like, ooh, love this. Nice, easy mission. But I need to find how to get water, food, and something else for the citizens of the planet. And I quickly Googled and I'm like, okay, how do I sort out this situation? If I get onto the Normandy, do I then lose access to that information, or can I go back and finish it? So I'm back on the Normandy, had a conversation with the council, and I think my suspicions are correct, because one of them's like, you shouldn't have killed it. We could have researched it. I'm like, I don't trust you even more now. You don't understand what happened on the planet. I don't trust you. So I'm digging deeper into the law of the government situation. What else? I think that was it. That was literally the whole stream, was just doing Pharos. And I'm really enjoying it. Garrus and Tali, fuck me, they are great. When I found out, when I was doing the boss mission, or the fighting the boss, shotguns are really OP.
Yeah, they can be.
Like,
yeah.
So me and Tali were just shotgunning these zombies back, and they would just fall onto the floor. Garrus would finish them off, and I'm like, sweet, I am cleaning this out.
Yeah.
So it took me 2 attempts, because I didn't really fuck around with the loadouts until the second attempt. But I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying Mass Effect. I keep thinking about just like, I could just play it. But
I knew you were going to get like click with it. When you started talking about Star Trek and all of that, I'm like, I think he's ready. I think despite some of his hesitation, he's probably going to have a better time with it from a story perspective. And I can't wait till you get to 2. Because 2, I think, even though it removes some of the more openness and some of the more like exploration that I enjoyed about 1, it tightens everything else so well, and it becomes a much better RPG for that. And because of the kind of forward structure to it, it just really tightens the story and makes it a far better like overall package and experience. And then 3 just concludes everything and makes it this grand epic finale.
Right.
But I think
it is very much like the first one is laying the groundwork.
Yeah.
Giving you a sense of this is the universe or galaxy. Okay. When I went to the galaxy map, I was like zooming out, and I'm like, oh, where are the other planets? Zoom out again. Okay, where are the planets? No, zoom out again. I'm like, what? Zoom out another time. And it just then reveals this whole area of different places.
Map. Yeah.
And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. So it's like, all right, you've got the Milky Way galaxy or whatever that whole galaxy is. And then you go into which cluster you want. And then you go into the corresponding solar system in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking cool, isn't it?
It's so awesome. Yeah. I was really impressed. Really impressed.
So good.
Yeah. I'm really having a lot of fun. My previous concerns with my initial experience almost wiped away completely.
Yep.
This game I know that I'm playing the optimized version.
Doesn't matter.
And I'm so glad that I am.
Yep.
I think the charm of the old era or the older era of consoles still comes through really nicely in a way that I can still appreciate. Oh man, this game it still lives up to today's standards. It is so good.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's so much fun. Just the basic conversations that you have with just people could just lead into a side quest. And it's like, oh, okay, awesome. I'm now doing this. I'll add it to the list of things. Oh, I just want to play it.
This is, and I think this is people's contention when they've seen the choices that BioWare has made with Dragon Age, or even a lot of their more recent stuff, because they understood if you have a really good story arc, like a really good universe that you've built, and then you provide people with choices, even though the choice is literally good or bad, like it's one or the other, but you are still providing this level of deeper moral quandaries to the player, as opposed to, no, we're just going to water this down and not even give you the option because no one ever picks the bad option. Fuck the, like, I get that most people play the good guy. That's fine. But the point of these games is they're a role-playing game. Give the player the option. Give them the consequences of those options. That's what makes it fun. They can see what choices they've made and how it reverberates in the rest of the story. That's what makes it entertaining and it makes it rewarding. When players see that, it's great. When they don't feel like any of their choices matter, then they're not going to get the same satisfaction from making the choice in the first place, even if they feel like that choice was technically the right choice. And this game just straddles that line perfectly. All three of these games really do. Apart from the contention with the very end of the game, which, in my opinion, I get people's contention with it, but I think it was always meant to end on one of three choices that were not necessarily emblematic of maybe the decisions you made throughout. Now, maybe they didn't do the best job of, say, concluding, well, what happened to each of the characters in your party, or what happened to some of the decisions you had made that had a lasting impact on the races, because there are some choices you'll make throughout the series that you kind of go, oh, I'm making a really big decision for a race, and that's like a diplomatic dilemma that you're now having to tackle with. It's fun. It's entertaining. You're putting the player in that position of, well, what would you do? Would you be the asshole in this perspective, or would you try and be the thoughtful, well, we need to be concerned about this race of people because of, behaviors of the past. I won't go into much detail because I don't want to spoil that. It's fun when you get there. But it's so rich. And I'm so grateful that you finally get to experience. Man, not to like boast too much about myself, but I'm amazed that someone like James had tried to introduce you to shit and just failed. And I've just had to come back around and go, that Lord of the Rings thing that James chewed your ear off? I think you need to give it another go. Oh my God, you love it. Oh, what a surprise. We just needed a few years separated from the retard. Oh, look, here's this wonderful sci-fi. Oh, you're into Star Trek, and you love Star Wars, and you love really cool, tight storytelling with this world building and all the politics and stuff. Hey, have you tried Mass Effect? I think you might enjoy it. Oh, you do enjoy it? Oh, wow, what a shock.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, it just took you a few years. But that's okay.
It did. But I think that was a few other factors as to why I was turned off from playing these games was because of the attitude that was attached to it.
Yeah. No, but I am just grateful. Go on. I'm just grateful.
No, I was going to say, I'm so happy that I'm playing the games now, and it's awesome. I'm so glad that I'm adding it to my library of games to play, and I love it. I love my little sassy shepherd.
Awesome.
So much happens. But if you want to head over to my stream, I'm going to show you the hard work. Just a little taste of, just what, you can achieve. What you can achieve.
I just need to close that. There we go. I don't need to hear you twice over.
So this is my apartment that I've built.
Whoa. Oh, that's big. Oh, like an actual apartment. Hey, nice. I love how
So
it's
I
on
used
a river, like a beach edge, and you've got the pier.
right.
Yeah, that's
So
cool.
this is Pallet Town, which is just fully open.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, I'll do one thing. So this is what I've made.
Mm-hmm.
This is meant to be like the reception
Yep.
for the apartment, a TV, vending machine, amenities. I haven't built the specific rooms as of yet. I need to get the materials for them.
Mm-hmm.
But upstairs, we have green energy.
Did you say green energy? Oh my god, literally. Awesome.
Yeah. So this helps power the apartment.
Yep, and affects the rest of the ocean by raising the temperature. Those poor sea creatures. You animal. Nah, awesome. Wait, what's that in the distance? Look at the pier again.
Pier?
Yeah, like out into the... Is that a bridge? Or is that not complete? Why is that... Oh, you're still working on that. Oh. Oh, really? Is that as far as you can go? Interesting.
This leads to the next area.
What's with this loading time, man? Come on, let's go. God. It's the new Switch 2 and it loads slower than, Bloodborne on PlayStation.
It just loads the first town that you get to.
Okay.
So you have access to it as soon as you start the game.
That other section?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that bridge always there?
Yeah.
Okay. So it just looks weird with how they've rendered it. Okay.
Oh, because they use a fog sort of system.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
That's what I achieved in my stream.
Nice.
For Pokepedia. Look, I'm pretty proud of myself because I'm using my thoughts on how to build in Minecraft to how I can build in this.
Yep.
So you probably saw that I had light blocks for windows. Maybe not. That's fine.
No.
But there's, instead of using traditional windows, I've used light blocks that emit a yellow light.
Yep.
So then it looks like they're on.
Yeah, okay.
But I've also got normal windows with natural light coming out. Because
that's cool.
Theoretically, those buildings... Anyways, yeah. I'm just really happy about it.
No. So it's more like you've created the effect of the lights being on from the outside.
Correct.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised. Really I'm surprised that they don't have that kind of feature where you can have it resonate that type of light. But I don't know. Maybe they've chosen to do it differently.
What you mean?
Well, okay, show me that building again. So explain to me... Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Because now I'm fascinated. Because the way you explain it, it's like you had to create a separate window to have a very specific look from the exterior, and then you've got other windows that function as normal windows, as opposed to you being on the outside and you can make the natural windows just resonate light organically.
Let's
if you know what I mean.
Because I don't think I showed you the outside very well. I just showed you the front, but the sides have the different two windows.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, all I've been playing is good old Crimson Desert.
Nice.
Which has been a really good experience. I'm finding little things that just irk me a bit, but the overall moment to moment adventure is fucking breathtaking. And I was playing with Emma yesterday because she came over with her dad and mom. So we sat down, I showed her the game. She was fucking around with it. And she was just happy exploring the world. She's like, wow, how do you find these games? I'm like, I just know this shit. And she starts exploring. She goes off. I've basically said, look, jump, open the map, pick a direction, go in that direction. So she's like, okay, cool. So she's picked a direction and she just starts exploring. And she finds, a random fucking shit. She finds a bandit camp that she's, dealing with some of the bandits in there. She finds this old rune that we're trying to solve a puzzle. So she got this new ability, which is almost like he's doing a Kamehameha or like a spirit bomb where he's gathering all the energy. And then there's an ability that you use using the fucking right analog stick where you can like basically harness the energy around, and it's almost a way to move objects. So we're both trying to figure out what do we need to do with this puzzle, because there's a little what is it? Like a little statue type thing that's supposed to have the reward inside, but you need to solve the puzzle first to unlock it. And so I figured out, okay, well, this ability you've got like these little wind turbines that when you get close to using the ability, they spin and it lifts up a little platform. And I'm like, okay, I feel like this is supposed to drain the water because there's all this water in this lake. I'm like, but I lift it. It's not doing anything. Is it related to something else? Is it a door? Lo and behold, I kind of explore the exterior and I find another one of these things. And then I use that on the second one, and lo and behold, all the water suddenly drops. And then it empties, and then I can get the little relic that I needed. And she's like, oh, that's cool. I'm like, yeah, this is kind of what the game's all about. It's all that, sense of mystery and discovery. She found something else while I was off preparing dinner, and she's telling me about something else that she found. So I was like, it's just a game that keeps giving you small little things. Like I played last night for a little bit, and there was these 4 pillars with a small pillar in the middle that I had to shove my sword. Now, this is a weird mechanic in my opinion, because you're meant to interact with the 4 corners of this square structure that you have on the ground, because each one then determines which of the 4 pillars you're controlling. So one of them might control 3, one of them might control 2 of them, or another 2, and you're just kind of having to switch. But instead of it just being a thing that you go up to and you interact, you have to do this specific button animation, which is a sword thrust. So it's like you're doing a charged thrust attack and then releasing it into the actual pillar to then snap the sword in and then use that to move the square pillar around. It's really cool. It's just frustrating that when you're trying to solve the puzzle quickly and you want to kind of experiment, it's this, all right, I got to detach myself, walk into the right corner of the next part of the pillar, and then align myself and then run in. And sometimes you might miss if you don't align yourself correctly. So it's not quick and intuitive with some of that stuff. And I feel like it should just be go up to one side of it, press A or press interact. And then he does the animation, as opposed to I have to physically do the fucking animation as a combo. But yeah, so I spent, I want to say 15, 20 minutes trying to align these fucking 4 large pillars in the right place. That for something that's usually pretty simple, like I can usually knock these out pretty quickly. This was more complicated because of the fact that you can move them all, and if they're all if a couple of them are offline from each other, it's like you're not able to align them correctly, and they have to be perfect or relatively close to perfect. I was like, fuck. But I figured it out, got the fucking reward. I was like, thank God I'm on my way. You've got secrets and waterfalls. Now, this I had to look up. You can't just walk up to a waterfall, because if you do, you will get knocked back on your ass. Like they will do damage to you because of how much water pressure is on you. But you can use your little charge sword attack in order to charge through it. And you have to be at the right distance. You can't be too close. You can't be too far. If you're too far, you won't actually penetrate through. You're too close, you get hit by the waterfall. So you have to find that sweet spot to then charge through the waterfall, not taking any damage. It's a small amount of damage. It's realistically, it's negligible in all things considered.
Okay.
But it's one of those like, I feel like you could have just made the water something that I can just pass through and discover that, as opposed to use that ability. Now, what's interesting about the ability, which I wonder why they made the decision from a assigned key assignment, or like a controller key, like controller movement assignment, because when I was trying to figure out how to do this ability, when someone explained it on YouTube, they're explaining it with a keyboard. So then I figured out, okay, what are the individual keyboard actions? And then I would do that same thing on the controller. Doesn't work that way. Because for whatever reason, the keyboard actions are not the same for that same combination attack as what they are on a controller, which was so bizarre to me. So on a keyboard, it's like you're using the sprint button with the attack button at the same time, and that initiates the like when you hold them, it initiates the attack. So when you let go, he then does the thrust. Now, when I try that on the controller, which is pretty easy, it's like it's A and then R1. He doesn't do it. So I was like, what the fuck is going on? No, it was a completely different combination. I think it was like jump or something else and attack at the same time. So it was just bizarre. Just very bizarre choices.
Right.
Little
Though
things.
I have to give credit to this game for at least giving you a reason to do things interactively. Instead of, say, I get that I'm not playing the game, but I am watching your VODs when you're playing. I like the idea that, no, we have designed these moves so that they're interactive with the world. It's not press X and, auto animation of everything happens. It's, no, think. If you move, how would you get through to this part? And it's like, okay, this is a nice approach. Sure, there's a lot of systems on systems on systems on systems. I get that. Again, I haven't had firsthand experience of the finessing of the controller and whatnot. But watching it and just seeing that you have to thrust into the waterfall to break the water to get through, that's pretty cool. I like that.
No,
I
like that. Look, yeah, I agree with you for the most part. It is, I think, and I've said this on stream before, we're so accustomed to a lot of these games having a certain cadence and a certain choice of mechanics associated with your interactability with the game world. So we're used to and conditioned to using very specific control schemes or using very specific actions. So we just expect nowadays that the developer is going to make very stock standard traditional choices that mean that, okay, this is how I typically interact with all these other games, therefore this should be the same way. But it's not. Why are you making me do different things? You're breaking my brain. No, this is not how it's meant to be. So I get the contention, and I understand now why so many people are put off and sit there and go, why are you making me do this? It's the same contention that I know people have with Rockstar games where they're like, oh, why do I have to keep tapping A? Well, because the game wants you, or the designers want you to feel like it's effort. Now I understand, but I don't we're playing video games. I'm not playing it to be fuck off. They're making an artistic choice so that you feel engaged and you feel like it is work of, I have to get this character moving. And maybe from a accessibility standpoint for people that maybe have like, tremors or Parkinson's that are trying to play these games, or people that have some sort of tension or issues with their fingers that they can't do those kind of actions or are slower at doing those actions. I understand having the ability to customize and change that. So it is just hold to run. That's it. But I like that. I like the extra touches. And again, it was one of those things that it was a little bit frustrating once when I was first doing it. And then obviously because I was struggling with the puzzle, it's like, this is getting in the way. I just want to do the thing so I can finish the puzzle. But for the most part, I don't blame the action itself, because I think the action was cool. I was getting frustrated with the puzzle, and then the action was just slowing me completing the puzzle down. So it was like, this is like, there's this extra little bit of friction that the game creates for you, which makes it more memorable, makes it more engaging in that sense. But yes, it's one of those things, you either love that or you hate it. And I'm somewhere in, like, it just fluctuates depending on my mood, because I think you're right. I like the fact that they're doing something different and they're trying something. I think it's more the fact that there are certain things, like, even though the mechanic itself is there in the game, it shows you how to do it. And that was the one thing. So when I couldn't figure out what the button combination was, I looked into the systems and it gave me the explanation of how you do that specific thrust. I'm like, okay, it's there, but it never highlights or teaches you at any point that that's what you would typically use in order to, say, cut through the water fountain, the waterfall. But it does show you a small animation on the side that's not constantly looped, but just occasionally pops up, where you've got the character doing the thrust, like a ghost version of that thrust into a stone pillar. So you go, oh, I think I know what I have to do here. And then you do it, and then he sticks the sword in, and then you can start moving it. So I was like, yeah, you give me enough hints, but you still let me figure out what I need to do. And you trust that I can fucking do it. So yeah, I'm having a blast with the game. I'm really enjoying it. The sense of slow progression is fun and rewarding. Going into bandit camp. So Emma had when she first started exploring, she went off in a different direction. And I think she got into an area that had much harder enemies. And even for me, so she was struggling with them. They would like 3-4 shotting her, right? And I'm like, fuck. Okay, let me try. I start fighting these guys and I'm struggling. And she's looking at me going, man, how are you doing that? You're doing really well. I'm like, yeah, but these guys are fucking tough. Like, they got massive shields. They got big guys with huge swords that are just coming down on me. And before I knew it, I'm getting swarmed because there's like a whole army, like a whole battalion of like 30 troops in line that are walking past while I'm dealing with this small little fire team. And then they get involved, and then another team suddenly appears. And I'm like, fuck, I'm out of here. I'm running for the hills. It's nuts. Like, it fills the screen with enemies, and the game's not afraid to do that. It's not afraid to just completely overwhelm you. And if you're not ready for it, you will get smashed. It's actually really fucking cool. So yeah, it's I can see where, all right, that's the next skill gap, but I need to explore these other areas or these other sections that I've just started in till I've gained a few more levels, bit more gear, strengthened my character up a bit. Now the game's unlocked the ability to, you can put gems inside your weapons. So you can go to a special trader like a witch in the mountain, and you can unlock gem slots inside your weapon or your armor, I think, and then enhance the actual weapons with magical properties. Now, one of the swords I have that I had unlocked after defeating a boss, which was fucking tough, gave me like a little ice attack. So at the end of my standard kind of combo flurry, he does this like ice beam type thing. It's not even a beam, it's like a flash of ice that just covers the ground. So you get little things like that, which is really cool.
That's really cool.
And I've started playing around, so now I'm a bit more confident with using some of my abilities in platforming. So when I'm climbing up rocks, or specifically like slightly higher edges, I'm no longer... Now, the platforming's a bit weird. Like the jump ability still feels a little bit not as responsive as I'd like it to be. There's a cadence to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm now starting to kind of get in rhythm of, okay, I'm about to get up to a ledge that's like a story or two high. Cool. I'm going to jump, use my pound ability. So you've got like this, you've seen it on the trailers where he essentially uses the force and just punches down. And you can do that three times, and then I glide. Because if you time it right, you actually, it's like you get enough lift so that you lift yourself up almost 3 stories high, and then with the glide, it's like you get a little bit more of a lift to then glide forward. So it's this quick, easy way to get up certain ridges and certain heights, which is fucking awesome. So rewarding.
That's cool. I'm impressed with, I know in one of the recent updates, someone found a tech for gliding and doing like an air thrust.
Yep.
And so the devs have incorporated that and made an actual animation into it. So they didn't remove it. They're like, yeah, fucking use it.
Awesome. Oh, that's fun. That's fucking fun. If they continue to add stuff and improve this game, and even if they do expansions, I'm fucking down, man. I am so down for whatever they choose to do. If they start playing and expanding the world and doing things to enhance it even further, fucking give it to me. Because I feel... I don't know why. In my bones, right? Or maybe it's just wishful thinking. I am hoping that these guys will do what I always wanted GTA to do, but better. Where by adding multiplayer, the multiplayer is an addition, not the only kind of mode, and then it's like filled with all the microtransaction bullshit, all these ways to just try and score more money off a player. As opposed to, we're just going to give you a really fucking solid product and we're going to add features to it like a fucking No Man's Sky. And then we'll add maybe some DLC that we can get money that way. And I'm like, fuck yeah. I will happily pay for a new content or maybe an update that adds underwater areas. Because you've already given me so much to this game and you are showing your commitment to it by doing all these updates. And I fucking applaud you for that.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'd really like, and this is, I think, the sad thing, like, I'm enjoying the story aspects. I can see how there are bits that feel like they're probably not as fleshed out as what they could be. I'm reading all the little codexes in the game to learn about certain characters and certain factions, which are a great way to really delve into some of the politics and some of the storytelling. But I must admit, it does feel like it's lacking something, I guess maybe from a Western mindset, that adds a bit more depth to that storytelling. And they've even acknowledged that, yeah, we kind of didn't have enough time to really get into the deeper roots of what it should be. I mean, at this point, I'm not going to be replaying the game, but I would love if they actually went back and then added all that extra storytelling that it needs to really flesh it out. That would be nice. I don't expect them to do that because they've already fucking done so much. But we'll see.
Does it need... because you always have to sacrifice something.
Correct.
When making a game. And does it really need, with everything that exists already, does it really need such a compelling story, or is there not enough that's already pushing you forward?
That's subjective. Again, I'm fine with it. I have no issues with it. There are things that I think work for me that I can leave it to suspension of disbelief. Or not even suspension of disbelief. I think it leaves it to the imagination. So like the perfect example where people are like, oh, Cliff gets stabbed and then he gets something that gets attached to his wrist. He gets rescued. And then the next scene, he's out of the lake. He's like pondering. And then he's being told by the guy that's fished him out, let's go. And then he just gets up and moves. And the issue that people have is this character that you're playing as doesn't emote what he's thinking or feeling. He just, okay, and goes off and does it. But I think for me, I look at that and I go, well, as the player, I'm internalizing that thought and feeling. And they just keep him more neutral, that it's more of an internal monologue that I am having as him. But he doesn't need to show the emotion because why is that so necessary? But for a Westerner, because and I mean, I've had this conversation with fucking Chris, my instructor. Americans don't understand subtlety. I'm sorry, they don't. Because if they did, they'd enjoy British humor. Like, British humor typically 100%. Is a hell of a lot more subtle. Japanese understand subtlety in a way that the Americans just can't comprehend sometimes. Because they're too subtle about certain things. And I'm okay with that. I can get down with the fact that, okay, this is not a character that's necessarily having to sit there and go, yeah, but what the fuck happened? Do you know? Can you explain that? It's like, what, we need a whole Shakespearean fucking storytelling moment for him. Like, do I really need an extra 5 minutes of dialogue between him and the fisherman being pulled out? No. We're just playing the game.
Hence
we've already...
Netflix has gone down that route. Because Westerners just don't have the attention span.
Yeah.
It's constantly dropping exposition in every fucking second so that if you're not paying attention, you can look up and go, oh, what's happening? But instead, if you stop treating people like fucking idiots, you would start to develop, oh, I can actually focus on this.
Yeah. Go on. Go on.
Oh, I was just going to say, I like that Crimson Desert's kind of just not that strong in a story, and it is more, well, it's your story. What you do is your experience. It might not be the same as someone else. So it's almost just a playbook in a world that, well, I'm going to send Cliff this way and see what fucking happens. Sure, there's a main story and campaign that's driving the force of the characters.
Yep.
But you don't have... Cliff, I can't believe it. You have the sword that we needed. Do you remember the sword? And it's like, okay,
the sword.
You lost me.
Yeah, I know what you're talking. I don't know where I got that. How do I get it? Like, yeah, it's just, I don't need it, but it's funny how many people complain about it. And I recognize this. So I'm listening to one of my podcasts. They've got, it's one of the sacred symbol ones, summon signs that they do, which is like a general gaming one. And they had one recently where they've got your main host, Brad Ellis, and he had one guy from Europe, and then he had Matt, Mr. Matty Plays, which he was American. And it was amazing how the two of them were like on opposite sides from the storytelling, because the European guy loved it. He's like, I love how the story's being told. I can internalize certain things that Cliff's going through. I can read all the the codexes and understand all the deeper politics and stuff. And Matt's just like, yeah, but they don't explain anything. He doesn't have any emotion to like, he's been pulled out of this, or he's in this scenario and he's dealing with this problem, and he doesn't even show any emotion. It's like, yeah, but why does he have to? Why do we need a character that's constantly like, oh my God, I'm in shock? It's like, no, he lives in a fucking magical world to begin with. Sure, he's questioning it, but does he need to be sitting there going, huh? How is this possible? Am I dead? No, he's you. He's the Link character. Like, even Link doesn't have much expression. We don't have an issue. We don't sit there and go, oh, Link, why aren't you emoting? No, we just assume that Link is the connection to us. He doesn't need to emote. We're the ones emoting internally.
We're the hero.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of how they treat Cliff. And I'm okay with it. It doesn't bother me. I'm fine.
No one bats an eye in Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild.
No.
Everyone's like, oh, I fucking love this. And it's like, but you've got nothing. There's nothing that Link does that drives you forward. So what's the difference with Crimson Desert, where it's literally the same thing?
Yeah. And I would argue that this actually has more pulling you forward because you actually have townspeople that are interacting with you, talking to you, telling you about the politics, telling you about what's happening in the area, and asking you, hey, can you help me with this thing that's happening? So there are links, there are ways that it...
I saw in your stream, the second stream, that someone came up to you with a letter.
Yes.
And you learned about the second currency.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yep.
That's really cool. And then someone in your chat said, if you miss out on a particular tutorial, the game does give it to you so you don't miss out.
Yeah.
And I thought that's really fucking clever.
Yeah.
Really cool. Yeah. The game is so big and you're bound to miss something. But for them to go, okay, there's this tool, you haven't experienced it, but there's an NPC that will just run up to you, give you a fucking notice, and you're like, oh, yeah, how did I miss this?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That is so fucking cool.
Yeah. It's very clear. It's very forward thinking, knowing that, yes, we have all of these mechanics, all of these systems. We don't know what part of the story you're at. We don't know how far you've come. So we're going to have ways to just force certain interactions upon you so that you at least know about it. Whether you choose to engage with it or not is entirely up to you, but we are going to at least notify you. Now, it doesn't tell you everything. There are systems that you just need to either figure out or look online. I haven't seen every aspect of this game being fully explained. When I see it, then I'll know, okay, at least there is a tutorial later in the game that teaches me how to do that. And if it has all of that implemented at some point, then I can look at the totality of the game and go, all right, every criticism that people have is out the window because the game technically gives you everything without you needing to go online.
Yep.
May not necessarily function that way, and they might have designed certain things to be more of a community aspect. I don't know. I haven't gotten far enough because the game is so large, and I really haven't had much time. So the little time I've had, it's just like chipping away, fucking around with some of the systems, exploring some of the world, doing random shit, trying to leave the story aspects for the stream as a means to progress and have something for the stream, while showing off anything else that I've done. But yeah, it's such a big game, but I am enjoying the sense of exploration, and that's a hard thing to pull off nowadays sometimes in open world games, especially when we're so used to it. Like, I should feel by now that this should be like another Assassin's Creed, yet for some reason I do not. I go through the world in a way that I don't feel like I go through a world in any Ubisoft game. Where Ubisoft, I know exactly what to expect, and I know exactly what kind of interactions I'm going to have. But in this game, there are some things that might be different, some things that might be slightly tweaked, some things that might be the same. But there's always going to be something around the corner that's just, well, that was unexpected.
This feels very much closer to Red Dead.
Yep. Oh yeah. I've said this. I've said that this is the best. If any developer has ever gotten close to Rockstar, this team is it.
Yep.
And like, excluding the fact that Rockstar, after how many years and how many games, they've worked and tweaked on the story aspect, which is honestly something that I feel like they've over-focused on, where it feels like the story has been more of the pull and the drive, with the secondary kind of objectives being, here are the fun things that you can do in the world, just to add a little bit of flair. But they've always focused more on the storytelling and getting that down packed. This, I feel like it takes a slightly different approach. It focuses more on the open world and the exploration and the things that you can find in the world and the hidden discoveries and hidden little quests, with the story kind of being second to that. But it functions very similar when it gets to the story aspects. And I applaud it for that. I applaud it for trying to get as close to it and doing, I think, even more things above and beyond, where they kind of just go, we're going to give you all these fun toys to play with, and how you choose to play with them, how they kind of break the game world or some of the rules in the world. Have at it. We want you to feel a sense of power and progression, because we're going to throw things at you that are actually going to be challenging and tough. Yeah, like I said, I will repeat myself. This is the one team that I think has gotten closer to Rockstar's level of development and added a hint of Zelda to it. Not a lot, because it's not a Zelda game, but just little touches of Breath of the Wild specifically. That's it.
I'm looking forward to when I can experience it.
Man, I can't wait. I know you will need to either get yourself a really good console, whether you get a PlayStation Plus for it, or, I mean, in your case, I know you're just going to spend the money, save up, and buy yourself a good rig. But I look forward to your experience with it, because I feel like you will get so much out of it. And if they patch it and add multiplayer, then we're jumping in and fucking around with this world, because
100%.
Fuck yeah.
But apparently they are working on a Switch 2 version, so
yeah,
I'll be fine with that.
Yeah, that's gonna look so gay. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be a fun game to at least try, and it should theoretically have all of its systems. You're not necessarily gonna get, say, all the NPCs or all the, I think you won't get the same oomph to some of the combat, potentially, depending on how they polish those rough edges. Fucking hell, man. I can't even imagine how they're gonna accomplish that. Although I have noticed something with the NPCs. There is a system I'm starting to see. So I was playing around because I was trying to figure out how to do a specific block, because there's apparently a block that you can do that when you hit the opponents, they drop their swords. And then you can pick them
disarm?
up. Yeah. I don't know how. I need to look this up. But I was trying to do this, and I started paying attention to how the AI works with the enemies specifically. And they seem to have, it's almost like when they do an attack, they kind of go back from you in this circular arch. So it's almost like they're programming, when there's a lot of them, they're almost designed to kind of go back into the circular motion around you. And then they initiate, like I've seen 3, if you've got like 10 people, I've seen 3 of them attack you at once. So they do have like a specific number that they pick out, and they go, okay, we're going to have 2 enemies attack you with these types of attacks, or 3 enemies, or whatever it may be. So they might just adjust how that operates and just how many enemies you might have on screen. But it kind of reminds me, I don't know if you ever played, was it Enter the Matrix or Path of Neo? I think it was Path of Neo. Path of Neo had So Path of Neo had a scene in it where you're fighting the agents, And it was this really like, for the time, you're like, okay, I get it. You're limited by the resources of the CPU and the graphics card, but you've got all the agents in this circle, and it looks like this flat texture animation where they're all just like shimmying around each other. And then occasionally you'd see the 2 or 3 agents from the outside just like suddenly animate and come into the circle to fight you. So it kind of feels like that. Like they've got some sort of a system where they just go, okay, when they're on the outside, it's a basic animation. They all just kind of follow the same movement. And then we initiate 2 or 3, so we keep it simple in that sense. Yeah. Archery is weird, though. They need to fix archery. That's the one that's like driving me nuts.
Okay. What is it about archery?
Well, it's because, so you press the button, at least on controller. When you press the button, it's hold and attack. So it's like, it's a shoot from the hip action. But obviously you're holding it, so he then draws the bow. The moment you let go, he like lets go of it. So there's no way to disarm that when you're around town. So you'd be running around town. If you accidentally press the LB button, he's now pulling the blow. And if you let go, he's now going to let it go, which means if you shoot it into someone, you're in trouble. And the only way to disarm it is to do a roll or to do some other action, which is just bizarre. As opposed to, let me have it so, all right, I'm pulling out the bow, and then let me press like LRB or like right trigger to then pull the bow and aim. Do it that way. Make it a 2-button type of thing. But it's kind of weird because you're shooting from the hip, and then you've got the point and aim. And I haven't gotten used to that because when I start shooting people, I kind of go, okay, well, I think it's fucking bizarre because you can still aim, but you'll be aiming at the head and you press the archery button, but he shoots straight for the chest, even though you're looking up at the head, because it's just designed to be you're pointing at that enemy, that's all we're going to shoot, but we're going to shoot dead center. As opposed to, if I want to shoot at the head, I need to press the archery button and then press another button to actually aim it where I want to shoot. So it's like this extra little, like, what are you doing? That's the one that I question.
Odd.
But yeah, I'm loving it. Like I said, I have some issues. There's some contention.
And that's fine.
But I love the game.
I think that's such a good thing to have. You can still enjoy a game and still have criticisms.
Oh, yeah.
Some people don't know the difference.
No.
And it's like,
no,
I don't like this. It's not good.
Man, this is what annoys me about someone like Jason. I love the guy, but sometimes when it's like he doesn't have the middle ground. He just goes, no, it doesn't do this. It doesn't do this. It's fucking shit. If it's not perfect day one, it's fucking shit. It's like that. Okay. It's so like, yeah, you just, oh my God.
Wait until the game is fully patched and then buy it.
That's fine. If that's your attitude,
day one.
Which is fine. Like, look, if he had, it's just the healthy mindset. If he kind of went, look, I am curious about the game. I think it needs some work. I'll come back to it when it's had a few updates. Perfectly fine. Acceptable answer. No, it's fucking shit. What? That's a fucking extreme if I've ever heard one. It's not shit just because it has some issues. It's got some growing pains. There's some minor tweaks that it needs. That doesn't make the game fucking shit. Like, anyway, we could rant on about this, but it's not worth it. There are some people that go straight for the extreme, and you're right. People just need to learn to be a little bit more nuanced and just go, look, there are minor tweaks or minor gripes that I have or things that I wish the game didn't do or could improve upon. Perfectly valid criticism. Absolutely perfectly valid criticism. I mean, the fact that grappling, and I found out, so I did a small little short where I was explaining how to do it, how to grapple enemies, because it's kind of this, you have to do a roll and then grapple if you want to take down a bounty without killing them. And I found out just quickly from that short that I did that some people responded, and they like someone's mentioned, oh, you just do a dog, like you do a duck and then you do the grapple. And I'm like, well, that's great because I watched someone else on YouTube to find out that little hint. So the fact that no one else has explained that means that I'm not the only person that struggled with this. So there needs to be better explanations of some of these systems, because when you're in town and you're dealing with a bounty and you need to grab them, it's just an interactable prompt. You just go up to them and press A. But when you're out in the open world, you don't have that prompt. And so you need to know the action, which the game never teaches you, in order to pull off the grapple and tackle them and then hogtie them.
Oh.
And it's an action that you can do with any character or with any NPC. You can grapple any bad guy, punch the living daylight out of them, and then if it gives you the prompt, you can hogtie them and take them back. Or just throw them. Whatever you want to do. It's such a fun game. It's such a rock star like infused game, and I love it because they're doing their own take on it. It's their own Chinese or their own not Chinese, their Korean kind of feeling of it, and I think it's brilliant. These developers have just nailed something, and I applaud them. And anyone that's criticizing them way too heavily, it's like, guys, it's not your thing, and that's fine. But to sit there and say it's a fucking shit game, play it. Don't rush through it. Play it and enjoy the journey. Because we might not get GTA this year.
I still have my theory. It's not happening.
Oh, God. I'll be impressed. Now, sorry, I interrupted you. Show me the lights. I did see, so I saw that there was the yellow lights.
Yeah. Mm-hmm, yeah.
Which are...
And then next to the normal
the
windows.
normal lights, yeah.
No, I've come up with an idea that I think when we're going through the chill kind of conversations in the podcast, I'm just going to find a spot and just open the camera in Pokapia and just watch Pokemon do their shit and have that as like
a background
filler screen.
Yeah.
Because I was, while you were talking, just shit was happening, and I was like, wow, they're so lively. They actually do shit.
I love shit like that. It's so much when developers put in that extra effort with the animations and give them this sense of like they have a place in the world.
Life.
Yeah. It's beautiful. It's fucking beautiful.
They interact with shit that I put down. So the counter that I had, Eevee's ability is trader. So they can open a shop as long as there's a cash register and enough counters. They'll sell you items.
Mm-hmm.
But when I made that habitat, so that's a habitat, and I didn't realize a different type of Pokemon moved in. I was like, amazing. You're going to live here and you own the apartment. So this is all you. Now, Eevee's moved in as the shop owner, and the one that lives in the shop, fuck it. You work for me. It's like I'm making up these stories about what my world is happening. I love it. But I think I'm going to start doing that where I find a spot and I think that's going to be my main mission for a lot of my streams, where I'll make something very scenic. So then I can find a place, just have it on screen and then have music while we're chatting.
I will say, I was going to say the jazz music that you had running last week, that was fucking neat just for the background. I must admit, I did enjoy that just in the background for the chatter. So that was pretty cool.
Oh,
But
I've
I
got it
don't.
playing now.
Yeah.
Oh, no shit, you can't hear it.
No.
But
But somehow it was coming.
man.
It was coming through on the stream. So I'm editing the video last week. And I'm like, fuck, that actually kind of works. It's just like background for the chatter. I just don't know what the licensing is on it. So I'm like, oh, I don't really want to fuck around with it.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Although I didn't have an issue when I posted it up last time. So at least no one.
It might be quiet enough
maybe
that it doesn't pick up. But I can't find license-free noir jazz, which I'm really into.
I'm sure someone will make something.
Let's start with something that's fairly quick.
Okay.
Let's talk about Nintendo reviews. Super Mario Galaxy movie.
I don't know where to fall on this. I haven't read much into it because when it comes to reviews, especially around movies, I want to make my own opinion. And I've been misled by so many reviewers who go in with a specific intention or expect a movie to play out a certain way, and I just feel like they don't understand it. It's like they expect the movie to play through a certain cadence, or they don't connect with it because they just can't empathize with how it's being directed. That said, there are instances where they are on the money, where, yes, maybe the filmmakers and the writers have overlooked a certain aspect and unfortunately don't necessarily deliver the intended message or the kind of entertainment that could have been on offer. So, long story short, I rather just watch this thing and make my own opinion. But it seems like there's a lot of negativity around it from the reviewer side. How are you feeling? Have you seen it?
I haven't yet, but I want to. One thing did get spoiled to me, story-wise, so for the movie's sake, I think it's an interesting choice, but I'm looking forward to it. I've read a lot of positive things online from not reviewers, so I'm thinking that this is another case of reviewers just not meshing with them, but the general public is. I'm excited still regardless. I'm not expecting Scorsese here. I'm not picturing anything like, whoa, this is groundbreaking. No, I recently watched Zootopia 2 and I was like, holy shit, this is a great film.
Yeah.
It continues on really nicely, straight to the point. Awesome. Did they have a lot of context about their relationship? And I thought they did a really good fucking job if you read between the lines. Absolutely. And I imagine this is going to be just a fun adventure with a lot of references from 30 plus years of gaming. I don't need it to be anything other than that. I'm not picturing an endgame movie here. It's a fucking children's movie. Just sit down and fucking watch it.
But it's a children's movie based off a property that has never really had a strong story aspect to it anyway. It was always good guy, go defeat bad guy, save princess. So
in really fun locations. Colorful.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. 100%. Yep.
I mean, I'll be honest. I remember watching the first movie and I was entertained, but it's not a cartoon that I am going to go back every fucking year and go, I need to watch this again. I need to re-experience this. There's depth to this that I want to pull it like an onion and find all the bits and pieces. This is more of a referential piece of material. Jesus. Referencing Final Fantasy.
Black material.
So this is one of these movies that I think are more for the fans and people that just want, hey, cool, look, there's a moment of nostalgia, or here's a reference, or here's another reference, and you're pulling apart things from the foreground to the background and seeing all the little details that the animators have put in. But I don't think it's necessarily the amazing animation or the amazing storytelling that we want, because I don't think it was ever designed for that. And I don't
No.
think it's meant to be. I think at the end of the day, Nintendo wanted an animation studio who could just deliver a really fun animation of Mario. And I think they've done that. I think they've done that really well. And they picked a great studio, Illumination. If you wanted really good storytelling, you would have asked Pixar to make this. And then they would have gone, all right, what is the emotional crux that we want this character to overcome? As opposed to, no, it's just a bunch of characters going on an adventure, saving the day from Big Bad. As you said, in cool locations.
Yeah.
I think they're delivering on that. Hi, Dexter.
It really doesn't need to be anything more than what it is.
Yep.
And I think people are just expecting, oh my God, it's going to be groundbreaking. No, it's a fucking Mario movie. And you hit it right on the head. It's a game that never had a deep story. Bowser steals girl. Mario go save girl. That's it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I really don't have anything more to say. Like I said, the first movie didn't blow me away. I'm not going and watching it again. I am thinking about the first movie and rewatching it with Piper, because I'm like, as an animation for a little kid, this is perfect. Bright colors,
Yeah.
very vibrant. A lot of weird, funny shit happens where as a kid you just go, haha, look, cool, cute, awesome. This is like really hilarious. As an adult, yeah, this isn't The Simpsons. This isn't I don't even think it reaches any of the level of a Zootopia, because I think even Zootopia aims for something a bit more emotional and something more relatable, in my opinion. But it's been written from the
100%.
ground up for that, whereas this is just, well, we need to service our partner, which is Nintendo, and they want this to just feel like another Mario attachment. So here it is. Otherwise, you get the issue that I think Nintendo was worried about even getting into the movie space, which was the original film, which I still love, but I can still point out the fact that it is just, it's not technically Mario, but it is if you kind of go, well, if we're doing an alternate universe and we're getting a really fancy director taking the core concepts and just twisting it on its head, I think it's fucking brilliant.
Oh, it's so good.
But it's not this.
No.
So
I loved that movie. Still do. It is so well done. Love.
So yeah.
Okay, so I haven't watched it, but I'm looking forward to it. I love Rosalina. I love Bowser Jr. And I also love Star Fox, so can't complain.
Yep. And we're probably going to have some references. Did you hear, though, in relation to that there is, as far as what has come out, because you were wondering whether there was you were speculating that they might be doing something around Smash Brothers. And I think the creators were very adamant that no, it's got nothing to do with that. It's just more referential type material. We're not doing anything around Super Smash. Apparently, my stream has been blocked on YouTube.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was showing off the Mario stuff. Go Nintendo! Fucking hell. Never mind. So I'll have to edit that shit out. Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't know what your thoughts on that little piece of news that I came across was.
They say it now, but things change.
That is true. That is true.
But there is a video game. Sorry, I was just okay. No, not bold. Warren Spector's upcoming game, Thick as Thieves, is no longer of a PvPe game. It is now a co-op and single-player game.
I have just read that. I was about to actually bring that up, but much later. Yeah,
we can talk about it later if you'd like.
No. You brought it up. Let's just get into it. I thought that was fucking cool. That's all I'm going to say about that. Fucking awesome.
I feel much more excited.
Yeah.
Because I'm okay with PvPvE. Depending, I'm not really into looter shooter, but I would much rather take a pure co-op game over a PvPvE. And I think this is a game that we should add on the list.
Yeah, and Warren Spector, so I'm just trying to remember. I think he's like from the Deus Ex days. Warren Spector. Yep, Deus Ex. What else did he do? Yeah, so he was part of the Iron Storm team. So he did Deus Ex and Thief Deadly Shadows. Left, then he went off and did one of the episodes for Half-Life. He did Epic Mickey. And then he's kind of been out of the scene other than System Shock 3, which is to be announced. And then, yeah, Thick as Thieves, which he's working on currently. What I really want to know is why the change in direction. Was it something internal that didn't work? Or is it simply a case of... did he just look at the kind of climate in games and went, you know what? Maybe I just want to make this a far more focused experience and just have a couple of people play through it.
Apparently, he said that while they were developing, they had more fun in the co-op approach and single-player approach than it was PvPvE.
Yeah.
And the world that they've built really suits the style for co-op play.
More fun with solo and co-op play. Other side wrote about the change on Steam. The shaped focus has allowed us to double down on what makes Thick as Thieves truly special. Dynamic stealth gameplay. We're already seeing how this has strengthened the moment-to-moment action, whether you're playing solo or with a partner in co-op. We've had some fantastic moments while testing the game. Now we're putting out all our energy into making things even better as we build up to launch. That's really fucking cool. So they just organically got to that decision and went, you know what? Let's not force it into something it's not. Let's just embrace it for what it is. That's great. That's actually really cool to hear. Yeah, fucking hell. Tell you what. I think that's...
if your team has spent enough time playing the fuck out of this and you go, you know what? No, this works better as a co-op game.
Yeah.
Fucking stick to it.
Agreed.
So I'm really looking forward to that.
Nice. That's actually really cool. All right, I'll throw one at you. Uh, Federal Trade Commission in the US has warned payment processors like MasterCard, Visa, Stripe, and PayPal they cannot deny service due to political or religious views. So essentially, they can't stop payment companies from dictating what type of content people choose to buy. So if they want to buy porn games on Steam,
They're allowed to.
I think it's cool. Like, I know people have their contention with this, but at the end of the day, people should be free to spend their money how they choose to spend it. Within limits, I think there are certain things that we probably shouldn't have, complete free trade, but it's your money, you've earned it. You have the right to, provided it's a legal service and they're not doing anything illegally, per se, have at it. Like, spend the money how you choose to spend, how you want to spend it.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have banks turning around and saying, no, you can't go to the brothel for a night out because you're alone and you don't have anyone who, loves you, or you can't find a partner. So, you want to get your fix out with another woman and you've got the funds for it. Okay. So why should that be any different from buying, a porn video game or something that's on the crass side of entertainment because an artist is wanting to push bounds and you're sitting there going, well, no, we don't approve that kind of material. No. You start going down that path and all of a sudden these credit companies or these banks are determining what you can and cannot purchase. So, yeah, I think that was actually a good thing. Thank you to the trade committee. And now keep in mind, that's in the US. So whether that is similar for overseas in various countries, because every country is going to have their own different rules on that. But yeah, that's positive overall.
100%. I don't think it's fair that maybe, and no judgment, there is no kink shaming here. If you want to watch, play a game of some waifu and you have to wash her feet and then she gets more and more naked as you wash her feet. I don't know. That's fine. You're allowed to play that. That is your right. A bank should not be the ones dictating what you can and can't enjoy.
No.
Sure, there is limits. We're not getting into the dark web of things here. But on Steam, it has been approved. There is an age rating. You know who does need to be monitoring this if it's not appropriate? Parents.
Mm-hmm.
But parents need to
take responsibility.
Yes.
For parenting.
But
do your job.
You know what? I don't care if I get flack for this. I hate parents who are so conservative about anything that they don't agree with, rather than, oh, my kid is looking at this. Okay, I may not understand it and I feel uncomfortable about it, but when I was younger, I had men doing this to me. Like, what were you do? Anyways, my mind is racing with all these defenses for why parents need to be good.
But you're not a parent. How would you ever understand? You haven't raised a child that you're having to keep them safe from all the dirty, grimy shit in the world. They're not ready for that. Their little minds will break. No, I'm sorry.
No, they need to experience the world.
You know what it is? I think it's about parents. You need to look the core problem, right? That a lot of adults forget. They've had a bad experience in their life. And so now they're looking at their child and going, well, I don't want that for my child. That's fair. I understand that. However, you need to also from a healthy mindset, look at, okay, how did this certain thing affect me? Why is it that I'm opposed to it? But how can I bring it to my child's attention and see where they approach it? Because they might not have the same attitude. They might not have had the same upbringing that caused me to have a specific value associated with it and negativity associated with that topic or that thing, that I'm then having to pass that down to my child and say, this is wrong. Don't do this. It's like, no. How about having an open discussion and then let them decide for themselves whether that's right or wrong? And I think it's about bringing the kid to the table and going, okay, from a context that you understand, let's talk about this. But this is the problem. That requires effort. And it's much easier for an adult to just be like, don't do it. Let's not discuss it. Don't bring it up. As opposed to, well, I should spend the time and educate them and let them make a decision for themselves. Because the only way we learn as humans, whether we're a child or whether we're an adult, is by doing, by experiencing. And then we decide, was that right for me? Was that wrong for me? But to sit there and just blatantly be like, well, it was wrong for me, therefore you shouldn't experience it. That was bad. Don't do it. No. Talk about the potential risks. What was your experience? How did it make you feel? Don't shut them off from it. And there are certain things like, oh, don't go into a war. Why? Yeah, because you're going to get shot and then you could potentially lose a limb. Look, daddy doesn't have one now. Like, whatever it may be. But again, it's a discussion.
Yeah. Communication.
Yeah.
One of the core fundamentals of any relationship.
Yeah, but that
be
it's
it blood,
hard. It's my child.
Sexual, it doesn't matter. Communication.
You have no emotional attachment to anything other than your dog. You wouldn't understand. Yeah, it's... No, I get it. It's tough. It is tough. Like, I saw my daughter fall over today. Now, am I going to stop her from walking or stop her from being outside? Because no, I don't want that to happen ever again. No, she needs to learn how to walk. So I'm going to let her fall as many times. And honestly, every time she falls, because she's used to doing it, and I'm not sitting there going, oh my God, no, I gotta stop. No, she's just seeing dad go, come on, up, up. It builds resilience. And she knows, okay, I fell. I'll try not to fall again, or I'll try to catch myself so I don't hurt myself as badly. And then keep doing it.
Yep.
Like, Some humans.
You've got some parents that are going, this sex game is devil's work, and Jesus don't like it in this house. And it's like, you know what? How about you shut the fuck up?
Oh, man.
Well. If it isn't a group of beautiful boys. Hello, Sixer. Welcome.
Sixer?
Jake, I also sent... I had to resend you the Twitch.
Oh, that'll be why I don't
thing.
see him. That was like ages ago. Notify.
There we go.
Now I'll see Sixer. How are you, Sixer?
Hello, I miss everything by the looks of it.
Well, I mean, honestly, you didn't miss too much. There were, 2 fights, a couple of weird interactions, and it was mostly exploring the top half of the city until Street Rat's game decided to crash.
No, my PC.
Oh, it was the PC. All right, cool.
The whole PC crashed.
Now,
your PC ran into a problem.
Oh my
Beep,
God.
Boop, boop.
You might find this one interesting. The US Patent Office has removed Nintendo's patent claim over summoning NPCs. I am so grateful that's a thing, but apparently it's not a foolproof thing, and it's really more of a case of no, this specific instance of the patent, no, we're not accepting this. Go back and do it again, type of thing. So they've got X amount of days or weeks to rectify it if they choose to, and they might tweak it and then put it back in. We'll see. But yeah, I feel like Nintendo, being Nintendo, is probably going to try and push this, and they'll rewrite it in a way that it does get accepted so that they have a tight claim on the Pokeball and the capturing of NPCs or, monsters, whatever it may be, that they choose to write it as.
Okay, we all know that I love Nintendo and I love Pokemon. Love it. But I can agree that this is fucking stupid. Because the idea of using a way to catch a entity to then summon it to battle is like saying, oh, well, Need for Speed and Forza Horizon is the same game. It's patented. You can't... Nah, sorry. Copyright infringement. No. No. But that's why I really enjoy Cassette Beasts. Because it's very much the same as the OG Pokemon. Really fun game. You use cassettes to catch your monsters, and it adds a really cool fucking mechanic of fusing, and it's like, awesome, this is fun. But you don't see them, and this game is overwhelmingly positive. It's got really good reviews. Do you see Pokemon going after them? No. They go after the company that's like, oh, well, you're clearly trying to be like Pokemon. Yeah, no fucking shit. Digimon was trying to be like Pokemon, but took it a step further. Ugh. I think it's stupid. Because then I get like, Japanese are very protective of their IPs. 100%.
They really are.
I get that. Absolutely. And I think a lot of people should be. And yes, there is a very iconic sense to your Pokemon franchise where it is the Pokeball, the Pocket Monsters, it's the whole identity. But if you're telling me that catching a monster and throwing it out onto the field to battle is copyright, then why are you not going after Digimon? Why are you not going after Temtem?
Well, this is
why
probably...
are you not going after Cassette Beasts?
Well, this is
why
why
are you
the
not going after so many fucking indie games that exist? Like, it's, to me, it's fucking ridiculous. But I get that they want to protect their IP. I just don't agree with
the way they're doing it. Yeah,
correct.
This is why all the contention around the whole patent got rejected in the first place, because there were other already existing patents and I think other existing IPs that already have some claim to this, and how vague Nintendo made it in the first place, that it was a simple case of no. This goes against everything that's already in place from an IP perspective. So go back, be a little bit more specific about what the fuck you're trying to implement as your own patented mechanic. But honestly, even just the whole thing about, oh, you can't use a ball to capture a creature inside it. Like, why? Like, as long as I'm not creating the ball to make it look like a fucking Pokeball, what does it matter? Like, you don't have Disney, at least not yet, chasing down people for having lightsaber type weapons in games. As long as you're not calling it a lightsaber and it doesn't technically function the same way, but it has some different animation, it's fine. Like you can make changes and varieties and it can still be a lightsaber. So, but even then, like at a certain point, I do kind of just go, do you really need to have a fucking license on those specifics? Because it's like putting a license on a fucking rapier or a broadsword. I don't know. It's lightsaber can be technically more specific because we developed a tight relationship with Star Wars and they're kind of the first ones that ever used it. But I'm sure that term has been used many, many times before the existence of Star Wars, where someone was like, wouldn't it be cool if there was a saber of light, like a lightsaber? And it's like, well, George Lucas was the first one to just introduce it, potentially, that we know of. So.
But what happens when the trademark goes into public domain?
Then it's open for everyone. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the problem is they keep extending that trademark rule. So now it's what, like 80 years? Or 90?
I thought it was 50. Did it go up to 90?
Trademark lifespan. An Australian trademark is protected for 10 years. There's no limit to the number of times you can renew a trademark.
Oh.
In US. Let's have a look here. Initial registration lasts 10 years with renewal options every 10 years thereafter. So maybe trademark is different than
patents.
Is it patents or is something else? Free. What's that called? And it goes into free domain.
Public domain.
Public domain. Copyright. All right. So length of copyright. So yeah, the life of the creator plus 70 years. For works with multiple authors, this is 70 years after the last creator dies. For films, sound recordings, and works made public after the creator's death, it is generally 70 years from first publication. So yeah, it used to be 50, and then it got changed to 70 because Disney kept fucking pushing it.
Yep.
So
time limitations on patents. Once granted, a patent can be fixed for up to 20 years. After a patent's expiration date, everyone can use the invention. This is the Australian Registry.
Nice. That's good to know. So we only have to outlast 20 years before people can do whatever the fuck they want. That includes the fucking... What is that? Was it EA that made it? No. Who made Shadow of Mordor?
WB Games.
That was WB. And their little Nemesis system.
So...
Mm-hmm.
So fucking underutilized.
I know. It sucks because I feel like we might have seen something, but I think the game that they were working on, which was Wonder Woman, has been canned. So we'll never know. Oh, well.
Could you imagine a DC game that utilizes a Nemesis system?
Anything, man. This is what annoys me about these patents, because instead of like remove that shit and just let creators be creators. Like I get, as long as you're not completely ripping off the fucking IP, fine. But I think if you can find ways to go, hey, that's a cool idea, let's enhance it, do it. And it annoys me that we actually get to that level. But granted, I guess people should be paid accordingly for using the same architecture. And I feel like people shouldn't be afraid to utilize that architecture without, being charged a fuck ton or a truck ton. But again, I don't know the specifics of it from a payment standpoint. It is one of those mechanics that I wish more games utilized, and it would really enhance certain games on a gameplay level where, hey, you have these very unique interactions or these very unique instances when you're dealing with NPCs or you're dealing with enemies. And it's like another layer on top of everything else that you do in the world. But now we're probably never going to see that particular mechanic for quite some time unless someone rejigs their own version of it and calls it something else. Provided the coding isn't like for like, then we're good as gold. But then it's about, well, can you prove that you didn't blatantly just rip it off from the existing material? Which is tough. So, yeah. It sucks. But moving on.
It does.
Apparently, Eidos Montreal had its game cancelled as it was near to completion. What were they even working on? I'm trying to remember.
They also let go some of their stuff as well.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. We'll get into this next big topic because Embracer right now is really just... Oh, man. I think they're too big for their britches. And it's unfortunate that these companies are being downsized and cut back on a massive scale in order to save on these budget costs because they bit off more than they could chew. I think Embracer...
games are really expensive to make now.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, stop fucking spending thousands upon millions on fucking your rigs to make a game look fucking realistic and putting all this fucking hard work when other studios are proving that you don't need to fucking spend so much fucking money.
Yeah, so reportedly canceled an open world game 7 years in development. Major open world project began development. We'll get into that. In 2019 and was nearing the final stages of development when it was canceled earlier this year. From what we know, Wildlands was going to be a new IP and not linked to any other franchise Eidos is known for. In fact, it sounds like it would have had a lot in common with something like Biomutant. The resources allocated to this game may have been a contributing factor in a couple of other game cancellations, though including a new Deus Ex title and a Legacy of Kain reboot. It is unclear what Eidos will work on next. The studio has not shipped a game since Guardians of the Galaxy in 2021, which did garner positive reviews but didn't become a sales hit. In the meantime, the studio is reportedly doing contract work for projects like Fable and Grounded 2. Yeah. So, sucks. Kind of really painful. By the way, that was from Kit Guru, if anyone wants to know where I'm sourcing that from.
There's... Right. Okay, I won't mention it then, because I'm assuming that's going to be the next topic, but okay.
Do you want me to get into it? Do you want me to read it out?
Because there's one topic that I just want to bring up really quickly, which I find really funny. So before we get into, which I assume we're going to start talking about, the one person we talk about literally every fucking week now, Sony Interactive purchases Cinemersive Labs, which is a post-processing of digital media. It utilizes AI, uses MetaQuest. MetaQuest? Yeah, because they make 3D environments and stuff, which is really interesting. Because what sort of games are they thinking of making? And if they're going to be focusing a lot more on their VR headset, if they're going to start creating this world as well as their AAA games. So it'll be interesting. They'll probably close it down.
God.
But that's literally the only thing that I had left on my conversations.
What did I just lose?
Okay.
Let me just copy this. All right. So the big one that I had. I'll combine this because this is basically Embracer Group through and through. But we've had two announcements, both related to Lord of the Rings games.
The $100 million Lord of the Rings game.
Well,
that's one of them.
Which one are you referring to?
I don't know what it's called. All I know is that it's one of the most expensive Lord of the Ring games, and it's costing them $100 million.
There are two developers currently working or have been signed on to do a Lord of the Rings game. One of them is Warhorse Studios, who we know behind the Kingdom Come Deliverance franchise.
Yes.
The other one is yours truly, Crystal Dynamics.
Yep.
Now, I don't know about you. I'll say this. I'll start with this. Warhorse Studios working on a Lord of the Rings game is cool. It kind of sucks because I would like them to actually focus on the next and finish off the Kingdom Come Deliverance franchise. And I do wonder whether the director stepping to the side, even though he's going to be part of their development, I think him kind of stepping to the side and going, I want to focus on the TV show because I want to continue spending time in this world, was him basically saying, look, if you guys want to do Lord of the Rings, you go fucking do Lord of the Rings. I'll step to the side. I'll kind of like step away while you do this. And I will focus on this project. And when you're done with the game, then I'll come back and we can continue working on the third game. That's my feeling. I could be wrong. But it strikes me as quite curious that the director basically steps out and then they announce a Lord of the Rings game. And I kind of go, I think he wanted to continue on the third game, but I think the team went, oh, Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings. Okay, well, you go off and do that because that's potentially a good money maker for us, and that could actually work out well for the future. As far as when we then make the third game, we've actually got more eyes on us because they've played this other title that maybe we can kind of water down some of the harder elements of our game and then maybe get more people because we've now got the name and the reputation.
Yeah.
Because I think even though they have a lot of success with their games, I think there is a reputation issue currently through the studio amongst people in the gaming critic space, where I think a lot of people look at the studio and really question some of the decisions that they make or how hardcore they are about their choices. And I'm personally for whatever choices they choose to make as a developer. Whether you agree with their views and values, that's your opinion. They are free to express theirs as a team. And if you don't want to support them, that's fine. But it's unfortunate because I don't think they actually do anything bad. And I don't think any of their opinions in their games are anything bad. Questionable? Do tell.
One of the devs got fired and was replaced by AI.
Yes, yes. I thank you for bringing that in. Awesome. So let's tie it all together.
Yes.
That
Yes.
was that. You're right. That was a really
Mhm.
unfortunate fucking decision. The other thing
Yes.
that we can
Agreed.
also bring into this is the fact that
hmm
the first game when they were making it, they were very adamant that they didn't have, because there was all this contention in the community where they're like, why is there no black representation? There's no black
hmm
representation. There's no female representation. And they're like, well, we're standing true to our vision of the game. We're telling a medieval story in a setting or a time period and in a location where the chances of you running into a black person was like you
Slim
find,
to none.
yeah, it's like you actually getting to the end of the rainbow. It ain't gonna happen. And
Yeah.
what did they do in the second game? Well, lo and behold, they introduced a black character. I haven't got to that part in the game. I don't know what that's like. I've heard that he's a good character, but it does break some of the suspension of disbelief. And there's obviously the contention that, all right, maybe there was something from higher up where they went, just for some like representation sake, let's put this in. But let's find a way to make it work. So he's like, I think he's some sort of someone who's just passing through the region and he's caught and he's a prisoner or a slave or something along those lines. But again, I haven't played up to that point. I haven't met the character. I don't know how he's interpreted, but apparently it's still considered incorrect and people have had a lot of issues with them because of it. So, yeah, they're not perfect. You're absolutely right. And the recent choice with the AI, that does suck. And I then wonder, like, I don't know how that's going to affect the English side of things, considering they are a European studio. I would hope that they have better understandings of the English language. Because, God, if we find out that some of the translations are now botched for English or botched for other countries because they've chosen to use a computer to do it all, that's going to suck.
Instead of just having someone work on the project, you then get a half-baked, half-assed experience. And that shit doesn't go unnoticed.
Mm-hmm.
How quick was it for people to find those AI placeholder artworks in Crimson Desert? No one fucked around. They found that shit and they call you out. The AI bubble will burst. And the more negativity people have towards it, the better.
It's, yeah. I'm all for the tool being used. But I will say, and look,
it
I
can't
haven't.
make a video game.
It's not even that. Like, that's one aspect of it. I just find, and there's been enough proof of this where people have used computers to do rough translations. It doesn't work. There's nuance that's missing there from whatever region you are dealing with. And I've seen this firsthand. So I know it sucks to pay someone to translate, but also, why are you forcing it? Like, pick your market. If you want to get the biggest market, aim for the Americas, aim for the English. And then pick the next 2 or 3 demographics that you feel are going to help bolster those sales a bit more. And then actually hire a translator, a good translator that can get that shit done and get it done properly with the nuance intact in some form of fashion. Because then you're having to go back through that material and then you're having to hire someone anyway to fucking fix it because there's going to be people complaining. Why would you deal with that bullshit? As opposed to, no, just have the person that you've already hired to do the fucking job. Or have them work with an AI tool so that it gives them a basic synopsis and then they can go through and edit all that shit. I don't understand why we are cutting jobs for the sake of saving money, as opposed to just do it slowly. So many good developers have just done the translation slowly. They've gone, okay, we're focusing on 2 or 3 regions. We're going to focus on the main ones. And then we're going to add, like, your English, your Italian, French, maybe something else, something more European. And then, well,
Spanish.
Spanish. Yeah, exactly. Latin. And then over time, if the game's doing really well, we will introduce more and more of the translations. We'll do Japan, we'll do China, we'll do whatever it may be. Poland, an obscure one. Well, not obscure, but, smaller in relation from a population standpoint compared to most of the other fucking shit. I just don't get it. It's really fucking unnecessary. It's really unfortunate.
It is. It's disheartening. For a studio that works so hard on creating a very narrative-focused game, it almost just plucks it right out.
Yeah. But no, then getting into the Lord of the Rings stuff that Embracer has obviously allowed, and I'm going to say allowed because I do wonder how much Embracer has sat there and started poking at some of their studios ever since they got their license for this fucking massive thing. And they're sitting there going, who are the studios that we can pawn this off to, because we want to make money, because it's fucking Lord of the Rings and there's a movie that's coming out in like a year or two. We need to get on the fucking train. Let's go. I really find it just forcefully shit when you get a massive company that goes, oh, we're sitting on riches now. We're going to get half of our studios making Lord of the Rings games. So, all right, Warhorse, I can kind of get behind. If you've offered them the opportunity and them as a studio have turned around and said, you know what? This might work out well for us. Yes, we will do this. We will happily make a game set in this universe in our own way. And we'll do it in 3 or 5 years, whatever it may be, however long it takes them to shit it out. Awesome, wonderful, fantastic. When you're giving it to a studio that is already working on a big project that hasn't come out yet, and they're also liaisoning with another company because they're working on a remake of another game. And then you're also telling them that, well, you need to cut back on your staff, so you need to fire some people. And also then turn around and say, oh, but we're also working on a Lord of the Rings game that is of the scale of Hogwarts Legacy. That was the quote I read. What the fuck are you doing?
Oof. 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 Fuck corporate greed. Fuck your Game of Thrones producer style greed, where we've got a better deal coming up, so let's just get this over and done with so we can start working on the moneymaker. Yeah, fuck off. Fuck right fucking off. So a little image has popped up on the internet, which I'll bring up. Who posted it?
Yeah. It's just really fucking. This is the bitch that I hate about Embracer, because what I thought was they were going to buy these studios and just focus on making these smaller, more B-sized kind of games. Now, for whatever reason, maybe because they bought too much, they haven't been able to deliver, and they're not able to get and garner the same kind of size and scale of revenue from a lot of these smaller titles. It's making probably enough just to pay, like, for the development and pay the staff, but it's probably not making a big impact in growing the company, which is probably scaring the shit out of them. And I think they've looked at something like Lord of the Rings and went, well, this hasn't been in the zeitgeist for a while. There's people that are missing it and would like to see more from this universe, and we've got a movie that's potentially coming out, and I think something else, because apparently there's like 2 movies coming out in relation to
On
Lord of the Rings. I found,
what?
yeah. Oh, I know one's about Golem, and then there was something else I read recently where I was like, wait, there's a second project? Okay, I haven't read into that, so whether that's real or not, I don't know.
What?
But of course, when you're buying into this IP, which is, I also didn't realize that the Tomb Raider games are being produced by Amazon at the same time, so they're helping with that game. There must be some sort of close deal with Amazon on this as well. At least from what I can garner, maybe. It sucks to see a studio who are, in my opinion, already doing a lot of work, losing staff, and then you're asking them to do this other thing on the side that they're boasting it being at the size of Hogwarts when all they had to do was one game. How the fuck are they going to manage that unless they're using AI tools or they're using cheap labor from overseas? And both are very likely, because it's the only way that you're going to be able to make something even close to that scale in a 3 to 5 year time span while you're making these other 2 fucking titles. One of which I know that Eidos is not directly working on. Oh, sorry, not Eidos, Crystal. But they clearly have some involvement with Wild Hogs in making the remake. It's too much.
I 100% agree. It is way too much. But again, it is corporate greed because they want more money. But they need to spend money.
Oh, man. Yeah, but how much do you really need to spend? I mean, look at the games that we've had that have had massive successes. None of them, in my opinion, have been IPs that we're familiar with. They're completely brand new IPs, and I think they've had better success than most of the stuff that is IP related. Only a handful of games that are related to IPs have actually had real fucking massive financial success. Spider-Man probably being one of them, but even then there's contention around that. And I do question whether Sony's Wolverine is really actually going to be the massive moneymaker when you remove the licensing cost to Disney that will obviously be sent their way, whatever the percentage is, plus the marketing costs. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm concerned about Wolverine. I'm actually concerned about a lot of their games. We're really not seeing a lot but I'm trying to find this photo and I forget where it is. But it was a little banner to show the upcoming games for...
For who? Embracer? Or someone else? Or something else?
Might be Wild Hogs. Let me see. I forgot to do what I was... Damn it.
What?
No, there was something that I was going to do. I was going to read out some patch notes for Lies of P, but that's fine.
That can be put to bed for the time being. Reshuffles its AI team. Its head of AI is leaving just after 18 months on the job. Could this be the first hint that AI is starting to weaken? If Take-Two's kind of reshuffling stuff, that's impressive. That says a lot. Also, did you hear this rumor about Uncharted?
Uncharted 5?
So
Yeah.
one of the devs had shown off a little image of on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Essentially, it was
Twitter.
an image of a cannon in one of the Caribbean islands or something, or somewhere in like the like Morocco or something. And all it said underneath was research, which people are speculating is Uncharted related, which could be. Might be something completely different. I would love a fucking new Uncharted. I love a new Uncharted.
Yeah. I would too. I just...
What?
It's so frustrating. As someone who used to be such a fan of Sony, just watch them just shoot themselves in the face with decisions. Why wait now to make the 5th installment when the last one came out more than 10 years ago?
Well, we don't know what impact Naughty Dog has had on that decision.
Well, we had The Last of Us. How many fucking times have we had The Last of Us Part 1?
No, because they've been trying to increase a bit of their revenue to justify the massive game that they're making on.
Do you remember The Last of Us? Well, wait for this. Get ready. The Last of Us Part 1 remastered.
The thing
but
that
wait,
really...
for only $19.99 a month, you can get The Last of Us Part 1 remastered for the PS4 Pro.
Fucking insane. I know.
But for an extra $19.99 a month, you can get The Last of Us Part 1 remastered PS5 edition. And on top of that, for another drop of money, you can get an optimized PS5 Pro version. Yeah, fuck off. Fuck off.
You know,
just update the game. Let people update the game. Don't charge them a full price fucking game to play it. You own it, update it, allow people. I'm so sick and tired of that IP, but why wait so long? And not to mention, have we forgotten Intergalactic? Where the fuck is that? You're already talking about Uncharted 5? How about a game that you announced now 3 years ago?
I know.
I would love another Uncharted game. I would love it. But I think it's either his daughter or they completely reboot it.
Well, this is why
Or it's Chloe.
Yeah, I personally, I'll be honest, it's been gone for so long. I would love them to just go, hey, we're going to focus on the daughter. I'm okay with that. Personally, that doesn't bother me. Let her be a teenager, a little bit older, 17, 18, 19. You've got Drake and Chloe now older. Sully's dead. You know, it's unfortunate, but he's moved on. It's fine. Like, he's had his time. He was barely in 4 anyway. They had kind of already said, look, I'm too old for this. Guys, you go off. Have fun.
100%.
Do what you need to. And I thought it was a really nice send-off in that sense. I agree. I understand where you're coming from, Lilels. I'm also concerned about how they're going to treat it. But if they were just to go, all right, we're going to have Nate's daughter taking over. Maybe she's off trying to rescue mom and dad. We might have a level or 2 where we play as dad because fuck yeah, let's actually go back to playing as him and have like some referential moment. But let the game focus on the new character and let her take over her father's kind of role and her pull and her interest and see what it's like for her wanting to experience that. I think that would be awesome to see that level of complexity and depth between father and daughter, and him struggling to see his daughter going through the same curiosity that he had and he had to deal with, and mom worrying about all of that. So I think there's something interesting there worth exploring should they choose to go down that route. And I think we've waited long enough that if we were to bring this character back, that would be cool. Alternatively, the other option is, which is basically what Lilel said, and I think you've mentioned it in the past, reboot it.
Mm-hmm.
Just
I found the video photo. I found the photo.
Awesome. Hold on. I'll just change the desktop.
Okay. So,
Flying Wild Hog.
Tomb Raider is meant to be releasing in 2026, but it says soon. It's not coming out this year.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think it's coming out next year. I don't think we're seeing it. I think my theories are right.
Well, we're going to find out mid-year. Like, we're coming up to, what are we, April, May? Yeah, we've got 2 months before the little summer Games Fest thing that Keeley's going to hold. I think that's when we're really going to... We're either going to see it there, and if we don't see it there, then I think that's a really good guess as to what's happening. How the fuck did that happen? That was bizarre. Yeah.
But as much as I would like to have Nate and Elena like, oh no, our daughter, no, don't go to the Caribbean to search for the treasure, they'll kill you. It's like, yeah.
Why is she from the West? She's from Outback, Alabama.
Because that was my automatic voice for Elena, even though she sounds like a normal American.
Drake, where's our daughter gone? I don't know. She's left us. Oh no. I told you this would happen. We should have stopped.
I'm gonna shoot my gun. Bang, bang, bang. Elena, you don't need to say bang. The gun bangs already. Bang, bang, bang.
Oh my God. I'll get my pickup truck and I'll go get our daughter back. You better, or else I won't be cooking for you.
Otherwise, I won't play Crash Bandicoot with you again.
Elena, keep the PlayStation running. I'll be back before you know it.
Elena. Hot diggity.
Come on, Sully, let's go. And he's just a dead corpse
Just a
in this,
skeleton.
yeah, with a cigar hanging from his mouth. Sully,
And oddly
you
enough,
crack
his
me.
mustache is still there.
Oh my god, Sully, you crack me up. He hits it, and the whole like top half of the skull just falls off. Oh god.
Uncharted 5, moneymaker. I think we
Yep.
just put $1 million idea just then.
Yeah,
That was good.
That'll be our remake of the series. Bunch of hillbilly adventurers out again, going to Peru. Hey, look at that big old Indian fella. I'm gonna shoot him with my shotgun. Come here, boy. Squeal, yeah.
And then you've got to have the stereotypical, Nathan Drake, you have come with a treasure. I will take it from you. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang.
God, you sound just like my wife. I told you, it already goes bang. Why do you have to emphasize the bang? Here, let me show you. See?
Because I like saying bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, 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 bang.
I just like the sound.
No.
I want to be like you Americans. You
No,
always just go bang,
Nate,
bang.
He's shooting at you. Bang, 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 bang. And then everyone's in a bang fest.
Oh my god, literally.
Well,
Bang, bang.
maybe that's what number 5's about. It's a polyamorous relationship between Nate, Elena, the skeleton of Sully,
Sully and the daughter.
No, the bad guy.
Oh, okay.
No, the daughter is.
They're exploring their
uni.
sexuality. Oh, right.
She's gone to uni.
Guys, I've just been here in the library. I've been studying. That's what you told me to do.
Chinkies, Elena. I mean, Mom.
Scooby snacks.
Oh my god. Could you imagine a crossover where they essentially make Scooby Doo? That would be so funny. And then you could have the daughter will be Velma. She's the fucking nerd that everyone makes fun of. Then you've got like the hot jock who's dating the hot chick, and then the high dude, and then the dog.
I'm picturing all the characters like crossing through the doors with the bad guy trying to chase them, and then eventually they meet up in the middle. And then like run away. Yeah.
Benny Hill? Is that the type of
I think, yeah.
Benny Hill? Yeah. I can picture that too.
Oh god. Crazy ideas. Let's load up Unreal and get to it. We'll probably release it before they do.
Easily.
No, you know what it is, right? I realize and I recognize that we've already got so many amazing games coming out. I just feel like we don't have, and I'm not talking about the classical Tomb Raider, because I feel like that has its own type of vibe, but I do miss the kind of high-octane action that the Uncharted series had, where it was, you have a puzzle, and then things fall apart, and you're trying to platform and quickly get through a level while it's falling apart, or while things are trying to attack you and kill you. Mm-hmm. And you're hanging off fucking destroyed like buildings that are falling apart, or you're hanging for your dear life on a moving train, or on some like Mission Impossible style road cruise along a cliff edge or something along those lines. I like that intensity in action we haven't had in a long time. And nothing Sony has released over God knows how long has really offered any of that. Most other companies haven't really reached that level of mocap and animation work and quality of action set pieces. Like, they do other things that they offer the player to do, I mean, the closest is probably some of these Japanese studios. But even then, I don't think it's to the same level. It's more, hey, it's spectacle with a boss battle. You're in an arena. You're not doing this intense chase sequence. So, yeah. I'm missing that. And we haven't had that experience in a modern day setting for such a long time. So, like, the closest I got to that was a fucking 2D game from an indie studio. How sad is that? That I had that kind of experience on a flat, plane, even though it was 3-dimensional with a foreground background, but it was like, no, we're doing this just 2D, where I'm literally platforming off one flying spaceship to another while I'm escaping from robots and men that are trying to kill me. So, yeah. What was that?
It almost feels like that era of
Planet of Lana.
2 or 1?
2.
2?
One's got a few sequences, but nothing to the level of 2. 2 just takes it up to the next level. I think the next closest that we're gonna get is that, not Returnal. I keep saying Returnal. It's not Returnal. Replaced. The 2D sprite game. So
the Uncharted style of gaming was such a Hollywood action of its time.
yeah. Yep.
We're just not getting that anymore, even in Hollywood films.
No.
Even when Tomb Raider Legend came out, that felt like a proper action movie. Even Anniversary and Underworld, it felt very like awesome. Here's your start, middle, and end action adventure, cool sequences, quick time events, explosions, cool shit happening. Uncharted did exactly the same thing. It was very action oriented. But now the games that we're getting are so far from that.
Yeah.
And you're right. Maybe we are thirsting for it. We are looking for a sense of just action. Fun, octane action. Bang, 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 bang.
Bam, 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 bam. Gonna shoot you down. No, and I know it could just be very unique to me because I recognize that I'm no longer the mainstream kind of approach that developers are looking at. When you look at how games are being designed, we're designing these big open spaces or these play spaces that we can exist in. Everything seems to be indicative of either we're making an action game that's just more of a Call of Duty, you're like action in a multiplayer space, or we're making something that is, you get to live in this and you get to build your own home or your own castle or whatever it may be and explore it at your own pace. And that way the action is what you make of it. And we give you tools to kind of create those action set pieces. But the constructed action, which I know requires a different level of ingenuity and design, is much harder. I think honestly, thinking about it now, the only game that probably offered that level of suspense for me was not It Takes Two, Split
Fiction?
Is it Split? Yeah, Split Fiction. That was literally the last game. And it's unfortunate, like, for some people, if you don't have a second person to play with, you won't experience that. But that is the closest you're going to get to hey, high octane action with a beginning, middle, and an end, and these really tight set pieces, while also offering some really cool puzzle mechanics and game design. Yeah. It sucks. It does actually suck. I need something. I either need a new Tomb Raider to maybe give me that fix, because I believe that they might offer something of that caliber, because they've gotten close to it, but they've never quite hit that pinnacle peak to the same way that I think Naughty Dog have just mastered.
Yeah, because Naughty Dog went for the very Indiana Jones style.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Tomb Raider was, okay, we'll take inspiration of the exploration and puzzle elements.
Yeah.
With light shooting.
Yep.
Until you get to the later ones. But have you finished all the Tomb Raiders? You haven't?
No. So I still need to go through the original older ones, apart from one, because I did finish the original.
Mm-hmm.
But I do need to go back to finishing 2. And then there's obviously 3, 4, 5,
6.
6, and then
7,
I need
8,
to
9.
yeah, well, then it's Legends. Then it's for me, it would be replaying Legends, doing the anniversary, even though it's technically 1 again, and then doing Underworld, which I missed out on, but I heard really good things from you and from other people. So it's just making the time for it, which is the hard part. And then making sure that the game is accessible.
Yeah, you just play the remastered versions of 1 through to 6.
Yeah,
Legend, Underworld, and Anniversary still work well on modern computers. You've just got to make sure that you're not playing too high of a frame rate, because then your game will be fucked.
Yes, this is something that Docker was experiencing. He was replaying one of the old Lego games, Lego Star Wars. I think Lego Star Wars 2 specifically. And yeah, he was having this issue where he needed to mod the game. He can't play past a certain frame rate because it fucks with the physics and certain mechanics break. And then there's other stuff that he needed to patch in because the game would crash at certain points, and then he couldn't progress through the levels. So you had to replay sequences. And I'm like, fuck. This is like, for all the love and appreciation that people have for the PC space, this is the one issue that PC continually has to kind of keep fighting alongside, where as we get better and better systems, the older software, if it's not kept up to date, or it's not contained in a specific way where it retains the files, or it contains the max technological capabilities of its time for it to function, newer systems or newer processors and graphics capabilities just break the games. This was the issue I was having with Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. I couldn't play it on PC because the physics were breaking. So the lighting system was broken, so I didn't actually have the proper lighting system. And then some of the physics weren't doing what they needed to. So when I was going to the fountain for the first time, the one where you increase your health, I couldn't get over one of the humps of the bridge, because for whatever reason, the geometry wasn't doing what it needed to. It wasn't recognizing, hey, I'm supposed to go over this. So the game locked for me. And the only way I could counteract that was I go and download the emulate the PlayStation 3 or the PlayStation 4 version. I think it was PlayStation 3. It was a PlayStation 3 version of the game because they did the HD version for it back then, or run it on my Steam Deck because it's running through Linux through like a little emulation type software through their Proton, which does a great job of kind of going, all right, well, we are retaining what this game is and what it requires, and that's all you're going to be, what's going to be delivered to the game. So it's able to work in its truest form to the best of its ability. Which sucks, in my opinion. Other than that, it's jumping on a community forum and hoping that someone has created a patch for that game or brought it forward, or you wait for GOG to bring it into their little updated spectrum where, hey, we've implemented patches and improvements to the game, so it'll now at least run on modern systems without it falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
But that takes money and time. And considering GOG is now going to introduce various games that don't require the whole freemium side. Well, not freemium is the wrong word. I don't know if you heard about this, but they're opening their storefront so that they're releasing any game that's not DRM.
What?
Yep. So they're no longer focused on just non-DRM products. They're going to have products that are locked behind DRM, so you cannot just download the whole software and run it a la carte. This is kind of the big change that's come through from them, because their heads have kind of, or one of the new founders who's taken over has looked at the company and gone, well, if we continue down this path, this is not sustainable. And granted, when you've got most of these games coming out that are DRM protected, I don't blame him for making that decision.
Yeah. I get it. Are they still offering the two options, though?
I would say so. I haven't jumped on their site for a while, so I don't know if they've started implementing that stuff. But that was something that was announced recently. So when that comes into effect, I have no idea. But speaking of DRM, this was something I was going to bring up. Yeah, so yeah, here you go. So they've already got Doom Eternal, which is now available. So I do wonder. Access to cosmetic. The game supports cross-platform multiplayer. Yeah, they don't specify. Yeah, I'm curious. Interesting. Food for thought. Something worth doing a bit of research. No, I don't know if you heard about this. Do you realize that pretty much every game now, whether it's Denuvo or not, has essentially, in a form, been cracked open and are now playable? Have you heard about this?
That's awesome. No?
Yeah, so
I love that.
It's not the official proper cracking method. So for anyone that doesn't know, typically with cracked games, what they're doing is they're essentially changing some of the code in the game so that it's accessible and you can play it, and like they're usually changing the exe file, or they're changing an ini file in it so that it doesn't require access to the internet to run, or it doesn't require some sort of check. But with things like Denuvo, but with things like Denuvo, which work on the back end of the game and is being constantly verified online with a Denuvo server, that's been a lot harder, especially as Denuvo has gotten better and better at being broken. It's a lot more complex to pull it apart in such a way that you can then just play the game. So what crackers have done is they've created a thing called hyper. Let's see if I've got it written down here in my notes. Hypervision. Now, for anyone that I'm not as familiar on this, so don't quote me entirely. But essentially, when you're building a computer, there's a thing called a kernel, which is the programming or the specific software code that is in charge of all the major functions of your computer. So before you get your operating system that installs onto a hard drive, it is the root of your system. It determines every action that your computer takes before, like, it will make it from a security standpoint, because of course there are, files that are needed to be secure in order to make sure, like, those root folders or those root files, if anything changes, that determines how your system is running on the back end before your Windows even kicks in. So we can basically have things, it can change how the computer operates on a fundamental level, which is
That's
really...
why I don't like that Marathon has kernel access.
Yeah, which a lot of these companies are starting to play with. Now, this is what Hypervision is. We watched that recently. No, so this is what... Such a good film.
I need to watch that.
It's so good. Every time I watch
classic.
it, it's like such fucking hell. Anyway,
Right.
Hypervision is on a kernel level crack. So it is, it's fucking insane. It's scary when you read into it, because it's basically creating a backdoor and it's overriding some of the kernel access. Now, this has already been around for a while apparently, but they haven't felt that it was safe enough to use it for most people. They've apparently gotten it to a point where now it's a lot safer. It's a lot more direct on what it's able to get to without affecting any of the major security aspects of your computer. There are still, this is the thing, it's not foolproof, and the wrong people could potentially implement other coding inside that would then start recording things that you're doing on the PC and then transmitting that data. And that's kind of the concern when you're playing with kernel level instructions. It's easy for a developer, or it's easy for someone to put in information that can then track all your personal keystrokes or all your personal information that you're doing on a computer and relay that over the internet in packages without any piece of software knowing, because again, it's at the root level of the PC after you install anything else on top of that. So think of it as your core foundation. It's like the soil before you've even put on the fucking concrete of the house. If there's maggots and shit underneath that soil, or there's, something like lava that's going to pierce through, that shit's going to affect everything, and your whole fucking earth just falls apart. So that's your kernel, and then you've got the foundation, which is your Windows, and then you've got everything else that you put on top of that foundation. So they've essentially created a kernel level entry that is then bypassing Denuvo completely, because it's able to essentially tell Denuvo exactly what Denuvo needs. It's almost like saying, okay, we're going to get behind Denuvo completely, and we're going to tell it exactly where it needs to send its information to. So now Denuvo's little cheat sheet doesn't work unless they get behind that and somehow implement kernel level security. So this is what's scary now, is by them breaking it this way, what are the chances that we now start seeing games releasing more like kernel level patches or kernel level games that are now all having to cross-check with your system to make sure that nothing from a kernel level is being affected. But maybe we're also putting our own personal tracking information in there, because why not?
No. I'm sorry, but Claire Obscure didn't need it.
Yeah, I know that.
Baldur's Gate 3 didn't need it. These games don't need Denuvo. Games can sell. You don't need protection. If a game's going to get cracked, it's going to get cracked.
Yep. But these developers are, and this is the thing, it's not like they're paying a small amount of money.
Blizzards. It's your Activision. It's your
Capcom
EA.
as well.
Capcom. I get it. But you still make money. You still get a revenue. I still don't understand why games are so fucking expensive to build. Why have they gone up exponentially? From a couple of million to now hundreds of million? I'm sorry. What are you doing? That's a joke. Yeah. So I don't think having kernel access for me to play a fucking video game for what, 20 hours? No thanks. You can fuck right off. I was so hesitant to install Marathon during that period, just so I could play it.
Yep.
Just so that we could have the conversation about it. And fuck me, I looked at that screen when it said that it was installing the kernel access, the BattlEye, and I was like, oh, what am I doing? I'm going to get malware. This is fucked. I shouldn't. No, let's install it. Let's spend an hour, then uninstall the game, get it the fuck off.
Yeah.
For $60, you are selling your information, because Bungie does collect your data. It's part of the agreement. That shit is deep-rooted. I don't approve of... Look, I get it that this is bypassing a... It's almost like fighting fire with fire, but to an extreme.
Yep.
But I don't think studios need to rely on Denuvo or BattlEye or having such restrictions, because if a game can sell, the game will sell.
Yeah.
And that,
I agree.
It's proven. A game's going to get cracked and pirated. In today's day and age, I'm going to say this really carefully. I encourage people to find the One Piece. If you understand, I encourage it. But if you can not look for the One Piece and support maybe your studios that you feel are deserving of it, then fucking support them. But in other words, if you don't, fucking find the One Piece. Go for it. Because that's what I do. There is so much on the internet that requires a subscription. Why am I spreading myself so thin over all these different private channels that now I feel like I'm watching Foxtel and I'm just watching ads? Amazon Prime, I'm getting ads for medication. I'm getting ads for kitchenware before the show even starts. Yep. And then I get 5 allotted advertisements within the show. It's like, why are you giving me product placement of things? I get it. You want me to go on Amazon to purchase items. I get it. but I'm also, well, I'm not paying it. My parents are, which I've told them to stop, but that's a different story. I shouldn't need to pay a premium price, which keeps getting higher and higher, doesn't get any lower, to watch something, then for them to go, oh, well, this show's now leaving the channel because the license is up. Oh, well, I could probably find a location where it won't go off. No worries. I'll support it. I'll buy a Blu-ray if I really enjoy the movie. No movie has come close, but I will.
Yeah. Oh,
I just have to be really careful. So search for the One Piece. Highly recommend it. But if there is a studio that you support, please just don't buy it day one. That's also another thing. You don't have to buy games on day one that they release. I get it. There's a whole FOMO about it. Social media, people are talking about it. You get left out. Fuck them. Your time is just as valuable as anyone else's. I'm not playing Crimson Dawn because I don't want to spend $110. I don't really feel FOMO for it. I'm watching Jake play it. As soon as that drops down in price, I'll then pick it up. And by then, they'll probably have co-op in it. And then it will be doubly sweet. But you don't need to buy games day one, especially in today's economic stance where things are just so expensive to just live.
Yeah.
Games are just an entertainment source. They're not a priority. Get food, get water, have shelter, have your basics.
This is the concern that people are having, and there's a lot of chatter, which we were, I think, already discussing it last week, as far as the rising costs of this tech.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of playing around with it a few days ago. I was like looking online going, okay, how much does it cost to, say, buy a PlayStation on a base level, or a Nintendo, or an Xbox, or a PC? And I must admit, yes, you can get a PC technically for cheaper or about the same as, say, a PlayStation, and you can do more, but it's still not going to give you the same gaming performance as what you get from a console. So if you're wanting gaming, your next best bet, or honestly your cheapest bet, an entry level, is probably going to be a Nintendo. No two ways about it. And I think Nintendo are in a really good position where, even though it's $50 cheaper than a PlayStation, and the PlayStation technically outperforms it, it really does come down to, well, do I want to save that $50 and get a game? And I think that's $50 cheaper, but without the game. That was the other thing. So when I was looking at the two, it was like, get a Nintendo Switch 2 with a game, with Mario Kart, or spend an extra $50 and get a PlayStation without a game. And as a parent, or as a family owner who may want to buy something for their kid, I know which one I'm picking as a first option, unless my kid specifies they want the PlayStation or they want the Xbox.
I would still, if I was the parent, and I don't know if it's because I'm biased and I know what the Nintendo offers, I would still choose a Nintendo product because of, well, if I'm going to have my kid play it, I've got a lot more accessibility to playing cooperatively. And there's a lot of sales that happen on the Switch too that have cooperative games that child focused, that are mature focused. That, to me, is such a better entry point to playing video games than it is to get a console like a PlayStation. Because not only that, the economic controllers are for adult hands, not children hands.
Yes.
The Joy-Cons, perfect
They're for kids.
for a
Yep.
child. I'm going to play on my Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller. You
Yeah.
have the shitty Joy-Cons. Don't touch my controller.
No, but like you're also coming from a perspective of knowledge. So it's not naive. I think it's just you are coming from it from a perspective of knowledge because you have some context. When you're a parent that doesn't know any better and your kid says, I want to play video games, right? Now, granted, and this is also the biggest issue that these guys, these tech companies probably are aware of and have been aware of for a while. And they're sitting there going, well, how do we try and build our brand, or how do we get more eyes on our system so kids want to buy or are sitting, because this is the problem, right? They don't have direct marketing to kids the same way that they used to. Back in the day, kids would sit and they'd watch their television program. They'd wake up early in the morning and they'd watch some sort of program, and they would have ad breaks. And those ad breaks would be advertising to them, whether it's toys, whether it's consoles, whatever it may be, a video game. Awesome. Nowadays, kids don't watch television the same way. So what do they have? Well, they've got Netflix. They've got... Yep.
Can I also add? We used to have the fucking magazines. Game Informer was around back then too.
Yep.
We had K Magazine, or Kids Magazine.
Again,
Kids Zone, K Zone.
As a family, we'd be going to, whether it's Kohl's, Safeway, any of the supermarkets, or we'd be going because it was a regular kind of thing. Well, Daddy's going to the news agency because he's either picking up the paper or he's wanting to, get an envelope because we used to send mail. So naturally we'd go past and there'd be fucking, magazines there being sold of, hey, here's all the new information on technology, on video games, on cars, on this, on that. All right. Most of those magazines don't really exist because it's all on the internet.
Yeah.
So unless a kid's interests lead them down a particular website, most of the stuff that they're going to find is going to be online through YouTube or through Netflix or Amazon, which is why, you're seeing all these ads on Amazon. Well, that's because there's probably God knows how much money in it that they are sitting there going, well, we don't want to say no to it because that's bolstering our sales. So we'll have a higher tier for people to pay that removes all of that. Yay, everyone wins. But the marketing is all over the shop because it's not like marketing is directed in one fashion. Now marketers have to try and reach you from God knows what nooks and crannies. And it's hard for your console manufacturers to garner that same level of attention unless, which is what they've been focusing on, is we make movies. Because we know that movies are still this universal, hey, you're going to watch it, whether it's on Netflix, Amazon, or any of these subscription services, or you go see it at the cinema, because we're now advertising through certain channels so that you're aware, and maybe through conversation at school, you guys will talk about it, and you'll talk about the next Mario movie, and you'll go, hey, there's video games based off of that. So there's like this indirect marketing.
Word of mouth.
Yep.
It is still proven to be the best form of marketing than any other form of marketing.
Yeah. But you got to get it. You need to make it interesting enough for people to talk about it in the first place.
Mm-hmm. But that's the thing. Even talking about it. For example, let's use Mario as an example.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty shit. Oh, really? Why? My kid didn't sit well through it. He got really bored. Oh, okay. So you don't think my kid will like it? No, I don't think he will because our kids are very similar. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. Boom. You just lost a couple of, $60.
Yep.
Bam. That marketing works. Word of mouth is powerful. Impressions very powerful. Was it good? Yeah, your kid's going to love it. Well, then that brings up the debate. Why didn't they just go together? Why wasn't it a play date? But I digress. These parents suck. I've made the worst example of these parents. They could have gone together and watched it. God damn it.
That's well, I think, look, I've heard the other comment about something along those lines where whether it's bad publicity or good publicity, any publicity is great
Is
publicity.
good.
Yeah, because
you're talking about it.
Yeah, you are talking about it. This is what companies don't want. If you're not talking about it, that's concerning because no one gives a shit. When people are talking about it, whether it's good or bad, there is interest. And when there is interest, people will kind of go, no, it can't be that bad. Now I have to try it for myself. I want to see this. And they will go out of their way and either watch the content or they'll play it themselves if they have the money and want to spend it and try it for themselves. So, yeah, it's funny watching these big tech companies struggle to build some sense of awareness in their brand. And I think Nintendo's, just because they've stayed true to themselves, they have made sure that they've stayed consistent. And the strongest thing that they've stayed consistent with is, despite what anyone thinks, we are still making sure that we are making a product that is like a toy. Because we understand that if we can get them at a young age, then we can potentially keep them for a very long time. And even if you don't play Nintendo games per se, because you might have decided, well, I'm too old for this. I've grown up. It's fine. I don't need that style of game anymore. I want something a bit more adult. That's fine. Now they're offering more of that adult content. Wonderful. You're now harnessing the power of the range of demographic that you cover while still focusing on the young generation, because that's the pinnacle. That's the high pillar. It's the important pillar. You start them young, and now we're trying to keep them for their older age. But we start them young. We keep them remembering, because even if you don't want to play anymore, or you don't have the time, or you've lost interest in playing games, you will get to a point, maybe, potentially, where you will start your own family. And you're turning around at the age of 30, 40, 50, whatever it may be, and going, well, my kid wants entertainment. I remember having so much fun playing the Nintendo when I was young. Maybe I can play with them, and the two of us can enjoy the experience, and I can relive my experience. Now you got two people just from starting from that young age. And I think this is the issue that some of these companies are having, where they're realizing, like Square Enix mentioned this, where the demographic of people playing their games are like above 30. Well, yeah, because you have been looking at your games trying to make it for the adults, or trying to make it for this old school fan, as opposed to, why are you not looking at where the kids are and just make a really fun adventure that they can enjoy? Yeah, it's...
Square Enix really did move with its generation of kids to adults. They followed them from a young age all the way to now.
Yep.
And it's a scary thought, because Square Enix is very much on the verge of losing, even though they have been quite successful. Final Fantasy 13, the one with lightning, that almost killed them completely.
Yeah, I know. It sucks.
And so from that, they matured with the demographic, and they were like, oh, okay, no, our demographic wants this. So let's keep pivoting towards that style of game that they want. And now we're at that point where, yeah, these games are very much mature focused. Their probably biggest title that was aimed for everyone, haven't heard anything in about 6 years now.
You know what I find
I'd love to know when Kingdom Hearts 4 is coming out.
God. It's not coming out. It's dead. No, all seriousness. All
Probably.
seriousness.
Mm.
I find it ironic that they were the pinnacle of Japanese storytelling for the West, right? And what did they do? They looked at how much success they had in the West and they went, we should tailor make our games to be more Western like. And I think in the end, that bit them so fucking hard
Yep.
because Westerners pushed back on it. Like some people were like, oh, this is different and interesting. But for the majority of the fans that loved the fact that it was more Japanese while having influence by Western culture, they pushed so far in westernizing their games so much that the newer generation, who are now so infused in the Japanese kind of methodologies, culture, storytelling,
Yep.
they're not relating to those fans anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I find it funny that you've got these other Japanese companies that are making those types of stories and are having more success than what Square Enix has been trying to do, which is, still try and make these Western style Japanese games as opposed to make them Eastern style, influenced by the West. Completely different.
Nier Automata is a great example of a game that is just so Eastern focused. Storytelling, gameplay, the methodologies of gameplay, as well as the storyline. And it's so far from what you would get in a Western style. And that is such a core component of what Square Enix used to be. It's another reason why Chrono Trigger will stand this test of time, because it is such an Eastern storyline.
Yeah.
That I don't think that game will ever be remade. And if it did, fuck me, they've got a lot riding on their shoulders if they did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
And Final Fantasy VII, as much as I have my criticisms of that game, it is a watered down experience because it's so much action focused that when you play Final Fantasy, fuck it, from 1 to 10, 12. Yeah, 1 to 12, that is what Square Enix was fucking phenomenal at. Those games are unbeatable. Incredible stories, stuck to their guns. The progression of their styling games remained consistent while reworking on mechanics. You had different directors coming in and out. You could just see this focus. And that's the appreciation that people have, and why people want 9 to be remade, which I don't want them to. Sure, I would like them to polish the graphics and make it look a bit more modern, give it a Tomb Raider remastered treatment, just flesh out the graphics. Absolutely fine. Everything else, fucking leave it alone.
Yeah.
That's probably nostalgia. And mind you, I only just started 9 and I haven't even finished it. But I'm still getting that feeling of nostalgia. Playing 8, I get PTSD when I play 8.
Yeah.
But those games are just so consistent with what Square was trying to do. Tell you a story that was compelling in a very Japanese mindset. But now everything is just so, dare I say, Americanized, because that's where the market was.
Yeah.
I think you're right. A lot of other Japanese companies, fuck it, a lot of Asian studios are starting to really kill it with how they're bringing out games and getting that attention back. Not to mention a European a European studio went, fuck it, we'll do Final Fantasy better than what Final Fantasy does. And we'll just tweak the mechanics to make it just so much more fun. And look at it now. It is regarded as one of the best games ever.
Yeah.
And yes, I am referring to Clair Obscure Expedition 33.
You know, it is interesting. I've heard this sentiment from some of my older friends about the fact that they miss Square Enix when they used to make Jap RPGs. Like, they used to make these turn-based RPGs, and they moved away from making these more action-orientated games because, again, it's the sensibilities that the West enjoy. But that's not to say that these turn-based games aren't picking up traction. Like, there's been all these perfect examples of amazing turn-based games that have come out and have had such amazing success, and developers like the guys that did Clair Obscure finding interesting ways to make that design
Sandfall.
more Sandfall and
Sandfall.
interactive, making it more interesting, more engaging.
Yes. It's
So-
not just turn-based. They're
No.
finding ways to keep you engaged and playing with the systems that have existed since the dawn of video games. It's amazing what you can do to a game when you just stop and just fuck around with your systems and just go, all right, Final Fantasy did this. What other things can we do? Not to say that Clair Obscure has done anything that is so vastly different. It's just their approach to it was just so refreshing. But I think Final Fantasy IX had a very similar system that if you hit at the right time, you would do a high amount of damage. If you could block at the right time, you would receive less damage. There was similar systems, and I think it was 9.
Not too sure on that one.
There was a Final Fantasy that did it, but it was nowhere near to what you have today. And it's funny because me going back to some of the older, I say older, but yeah, the 3DS era of Pokemon games, and just playing those recently because I was getting my Pokemon across to Pokemon Home. I was playing them, and then I was like, fuck, this is just nowhere near what it's like today. Still turn-based, your moves, special moves, your passive moves, you're exploring a 3D space. And then I went to Legend ZA so I could start fucking around with Pokemon Home Pokemon in the game. And I was doing a battle and I was like, holy shit, how far we've come from just being static in one plane to now being on a horizontal plane and being able to move around, to now winds and waves going back to turn-based, well, speculating, back to turn-based, and having almost that restriction back to, well, we want to keep that old school feeling, but the open world remains the same. You'll be able to explore. This is a lot of speculating, but I imagine that this will help with development of a lot of other systems that they will have, like catching Pokemon and the flying and swimming mechanics, the diving mechanics, so it would work. Again, say what you will. I don't know why I said it like that, man. Say what you will. Anyways, Pokemon has been very consistent with how they've made their games and their mechanics of games. Turn-based works well. Sure, the story can sometimes not hit as well because you kind of just, where do you go? Final Fantasy has so much of a back catalog that when you look at them today, 15, was it 15 with Noctis and the Stand By Me?
Yes, it is 15 because 16 was the recent one.
Yes, that's right, because Ben Star was in 16. 15 was such a huge departure from the games that came before, because 13 would have been the last proper turn-based Final Fantasy. Then they started going, well, let's do real-time battling with some elements of turn-based, not very heavy, it's very light. But then you look at their other IPs that they've got that are so influential to Japanese and American style IPs, where you mix both Final Fantasy and Disney into one, and then you're playing with a new system of, well, this is just real time, just action focused. There's elements of turn-based puzzles with real time because you've got enemies that are weak to a particular element, or exploring certain worlds, you need to utilize your spells. Then you've got Nier Automata, which I remember when I first played that at your place, and I was like, no, I don't like this game. This is weird.
15.
No, Nier Automata.
Oh, okay.
Because I remember you were doing the first save, so save A, and it went from 3D, 2D to
it was all
the
it was a bunch of
plane,
different,
right? And that's the thing. I replayed that game, and I'm up to save E, I think. And looking at how the Japanese mentality of, well, we're just going to add so many different styles of games into one. I've digressed so far from the conversation. I'm just talking about how much I love these games. It's just so interesting mindset of, now my brain's going to start stopping. Fuck. It's just really interesting. Fuck. Yeah. Fuck. Sorry. I digress so hard, and I stopped my thought, and I was like, okay, stop talking now. But yeah, Final Fantasy 12 is the best one. Everyone play it.
For anyone listening, we are still early in our podcasting days and trying to learn where and when to kind of direct our energy. It's tough. Yes. It can be hard to kind of keep the conversation going and finding ways to pull at threads. And again, it is a relatively quiet week. There hasn't been too much news.
Actually, big news. Big news. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly read something.
Yeah, go for it.
So there's two things that I want to discuss. One, I'm actually really excited, and I was playing it, and I was like, oh, this is good. And then the other, I thought you would appreciate. It's just a little fun. So where's the patch note? updates that are coming out. So just keep in mind that this is just patch notes for an upcoming patch for Lies of P. All right, where are we? So, Carlo's nose will now be reflective when you lie.
Oh,
The hitbox will also increase, so some doors you will not gain access to and lock you out.
I don't get that. What do you mean?
So you know how when you lie, your nose grows bigger in the painting?
Yeah.
So that will now be reflective in your run, so that when you're running around, it's a hitbox. So if your nose is too
No.
big, there's some doors that you won't get access to.
What? That's not real. That's got to be an April Fool's thing.
Yeah, it was.
It was. Okay. Fucking hell.
One of the devs wrote it. And I was like, you know what? That's fucking great. I
That's
love that.
awesome.
And I wanted to share it because I thought you would enjoy it.
Yeah, that's... Man, could you imagine if you had like an invisible hitbox because of your fucking size of the nose? You're like, why am I getting hit? I'm not even there. What? I'd be even more frustrated. I should replay it and just be like, I'll lose my shit.
I thought you would appreciate that. But other than that, Jack 3 is officially on open goal, playable from start to finish.
Nice. That's awesome. That's actually really cool to hear.
And it's funny because I started playing it just because I wanted to see what the game is like. It's like knowing the game like the back of my hand. I'm just like, yep, I gotta go here. Yep, this mission, done. Yep, kill everyone, sure, done. It's like I'm playing this for the 100th time. It probably is. The amount of times I've restarted that game. Fun fact, when I played that game, I would then unlock as many of the cheats, then start hero mode. So I would have unlimited dark eco, light eco, have all the abilities, unlimited ammo, all the cars. I didn't really care for the gun courses, didn't give a shit about them. And then I would play the game with essentially New Game Plus. And then as soon as I finished the game, I was like, well, time to start a new game. And I would start again. As soon as I finished it, go straight into a new game. That's how much I played the fuck out of Jack 3. And I'm so excited because now I can play it again.
That's good.
I don't have to touch my PlayStation 3 to play it. Yes! Or PlayStation... No, 3. I'm so happy. So yeah, if anyone's interested, open goal. It's freeware. Goal is the game engine that Naughty Dog used to build Jack and Dexter, Jack 2 and Jack 3. Jack X probably won't be touched on. Just make sure you've got your game discs with the ISO on it and play. Highly recommend those games.
Wicked.
Incredible.
Just remember, make sure you can afford to get a CD-ROM drive because they're also becoming quite scarce since there's only one or two companies that make them now. So, yay!
Oh, yeah.
See, and this is the other thing. So when people sit there and go, oh, but you shouldn't use piracy to emulate games unless you've got the original hardware or unless you've got the original game. It's like, yeah, but if I've got the original game and I can't get the hardware required to even run the fucking disc from an emulation standpoint, fuck it, I'm just going to download the fucking ROM.
100%.
Because
and that's another thing.
Like, it's just
you've got it.
Logic is fucked at certain points.
Game
Like
logic.
well, it's not even game logic. It's moral
No, I was
logic.
just
It is yeah.
yeah.
It's the moral quandaries. And I get that technically we're not owed these games or these products to exist in perpetuity. I understand that. And from a purely moral standpoint, we really shouldn't be stealing. However, there's that fine gray line that I guess as humans we do just kind of straddle where we're like, well, but I want to experience this thing as I did. Why can't I? If it's not accessible, if I can't buy it, fuck it, I'll use other means if they're available and I'm not going to go to jail for. And I shouldn't feel bad or feel like I'm not going to heaven because God's sitting there going, oh, but you stole from that big corporation that makes billions of dollars every year. And how many times do these corporations fuck the people that work within their ecosystem just so they can squeeze an extra dollar out of you? It's not every one of
And
them.
how much are these billionaire companies destroying the planet? Why aren't they going to hell?
Well, I mean, yeah, let's invest in AI. How much water does that require? How much electricity does that require? Who cares? We can save money and not spend medical bills or holiday pay or insurances on any of our staff. We'll just hire 5 people and you can make us money. We'll pay them peanuts and they can sit there and come up with the ideas. Come on, monkey, dance. Eventually, it'll just be executives sitting there going, in a boardroom going, okay, Google, can you create us a video game that's going to make us billions of dollars? Because they won't have any other ideas. They'll just be like, they'll just expect Google. I think that's a jolly good idea. Let's make a game about pirates because that seems to be what a lot of the kids are playing right now.
Our top searches is big titty women. So we're going to make a game based on big titty women.
That is exactly what, like, it'll probably come back with, all right, a bunch of porn games because that's the most, viewed thing on the planet.
Yep. There's some games that are not accessible anymore, like Oni. But there are people who've made it accessible. I can't buy that shit. And if I do, good luck. I ain't forking out hundreds of dollars for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got one that I would love GOG to finally fucking solve the rights issue for this game. But the fact that no one or the people involved haven't sat there and gone, just give the rights to one person or just let's all just shake hands on a 50-50 kind of split for what is it called? No One Lives Forever? Is that what it's called? No. No One Lives
PS2 game?
Forever. Yeah, it is. No One Lives Forever.
Wow. I literally just typed in No One Lives Forever game and it's big titty women.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever played this game?
I haven't.
Okay.
The operative.
This is James Bond. First person.
Oh, it's from Monolith, of course.
So you basically, it was their version of a Bond style game, but you played as a female agent who in the time period, she's obviously treated as, well, you're a female. We can't take you seriously. And so all the tools and gadgets that they give you are things like lipstick. And perfumes or like the your little mirror or whatever it is. It's all these feminine items that were then like, all right, your spray bottle is used as a spray so that you can see lasers, or it can be used as a poison. Your lipstick is what's used to open the window so that you can break through or open the latch or whatever it may be, or shoot a button. And the character was very intelligent and would take the piss out of her superiors and the other male agent that was completely batshit stupid. And unfortunately, due to the rights being tied up between two different companies or two different entities, GOG for years has been trying to figure out how to fucking untangle this shit. And they haven't been able to do it. And it's one of these games that I swear if it released, people would go apeshit nuts if it got like HD'd or it got remade.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it never will, I think. And it's another example of a game that you would have to find alternate means to play it. Which is very sad.
Damn. No one lives.
And man, this game for the time, this was like it was almost on the level of like a Half-Life as far as the level of creativity and some of the stuff you could do. It was probably the best Bond-like video game you could get. And so with almost like the way Ape Escape treated it, every time you got a new tool, they put you through a little training exercise. And you'd go through and learn how to use the tool in various ways. And then you'd go and do the mission. And then use that tool as well as any others that you needed to use, whether it was ways to break into, locks or break the electronic digital locks and whatnot. So it's just, really fucking cool shit. I think that was one of the other tools was cheek blush as a means to see the fingerprints. Yep. Yeah.
Man.
No one lives forever tools. Gadgets. All right. Beret disguised lockpick and dagger. A belt buckle disguised zip cord. Body remover dissolves corpses. What's the body remover look like? Oh, that's a spray. Awesome. What do we have? Camera disabler, which I think was just a camera disabler. Okay. Cigarette lighter, disguised welder. Yep, so you could weld fucking shit. Code breaker unlocks locks and keypads. Lipstick explosive, disguised grenades. A canine persuader disguised as a robotic poodle. Safe cracker unlocks combination safe. Spy glasses, camera, infrared detector, and mine detector. Okay, so there wasn't a powder. I thought there was.
That might have been in the sequel.
Maybe. Coins, earplugs, fire extinguishers, first aid kit, flashlight, fuzzy slippers, lock-picking tools, radio, scuba diving equipment, tape recorder, telephone. Fucking just, oh my god.
Okay, this is astounding. So, on Wikipedia, the reception for the first game was, oh Jesus, 88.34%. A 91 out of 100 on Metacritic.
Yep.
Then
its sequel was much lower.
The sequel was the same.
Oh, was it the same? Oh, I thought it was less.
91 out of 100.
Okay.
I know there was high reviews.
I know the developer was a little bit not annoyed, but they had, I think, focused on certain aspects too much that they kind of neglected from the first one. I don't know if I worded that right. Essentially, they didn't put in. There were certain things that the first game did and did really well that they didn't implement in the second because they were looking at other systems, and he regrets doing that. That's something I was reading. But yeah, no, it's a gem of a game, and it sucks that it's lost unless you're doing some shady shit to play it. So, yeah, that's a thing.
I'm sure. Oh, of course, because Monolith is done now.
Yeah, no, they closed down. The last game they did was, I think, Fear
Shadow
3,
of
which...
War,
Oh, was it that? Yeah,
Middle
okay.
Earth.
Yep, that's right. Fucking hell.
Such a shame. Such a shame.
Yes.
I'm all about preservation of video games. And when you've got games like Aspire re-releasing, I'm still waiting like Croc 2 to come out, but Croc 1, insane. Then Aspire doing the Legacy of Kain series. Is it Legacy of Kain?
Yeah.
Yeah, the vampire one. Then you've got the Tomb Raider series. EA re-releasing Mass Effect in a better quality for every fucking console. Awesome. Yes. Once you make these games, sure, they might not play the best in today's standards, but you can still play them. I love it. And I also love the Internet Archive because they have a lot of things that are archived for preservation purposes. So donate to them. Because with digital media and how shit works, that shit is preserved. Oh, God. Oh, I tried Jump Space, the game that I sent you.
How'd that go?
Dude, it's really fun.
Okay.
I personally found it more enjoyable than what Void Crew does.
Okay.
So, okay, so you start off crashed on a planet, and it's the tutorial. It teaches you jump, run, sprint, double jump, grapple, shoot. And then once you find a crashed ship, it then starts teaching you about, okay, well, let's get the core back into the ship. Let's get a repair kit in the ship. Oh, can you get something over here? Okay, now I'm learning how to use my jetpack in 0G. I did 2 missions, so I'm level 2 now, or level 3 standing with the little hub area. It's really fun. And because I'm playing single player, I don't have someone else manning the guns or repairing the ship, but they've designed a little robot who you can tell to do things. So if the core needs to be repaired, he'll automatically do that as long as you've got the resources for it.
Yep.
So the missions aren't roguelikes. It's no, get your gear sorted. Whatever you collect in those missions, you can take back with you so that when you go back out, they're with you that time.
Yep.
The gunplay, so satisfying. Exploring the spaces, they're not really big spaces, but The ship combat's been really fun. There was one mission where I had to go onto a little asteroid that had some computer stuff that I had to hack into.
Yep.
And then I got enemy ships coming in. So I had to quickly get back onto the ship, grapple onto it, run inside, start flying. The robot was manning the turret. So he was shooting enemies while I was shooting other enemies and shooting at things. It's really fun. I had a lot more fun. And the mission base is you have a map and there's a cloud that comes in. So there's two red markers that come in, almost like the Fortnite cloud that comes in. Mm-hmm. And as you do missions, there's one that enemy reinforcements come in and have a effect on the mission. Yep. So you might be facing a lot more enemies or a lot more tougher enemies. But then you've got a red cloud that slowly comes in each time you do a mission. So you can take your time while you're doing them to then do the final mission and then escape the space.
Okay.
And the way you upgrade is a little almost Tetris-like, where you have core components that might be in a line of 3, and you have to fit it into your ship grid system for it to work.
And
it's really cool, really fun. I am really surprised at how well I get that the game wants you to play in co-op, but how well the single player works and the physics, I am thoroughly surprised. I gave that a good go. Yeah, really good.
Nice.
Because I'm trying to try out the games that I'm purchasing.
Yeah.
So then if I need to refund it, I can refund it.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
But
I mean, yeah.
I don't know if I've told you, House Flipper is free on Steam, by the way. If anyone's interested, it's a free game, House Flipper.
Okay. I feel like I've heard about it. What the hell? That's not locked, is it? Holy shit. What have you done, sir? Oh, I know what I've opened up.
And because April 7th is coming soon, I've reinstalled Starfield.
Nice. Very nice.
Because I'm really intrigued with this new update.
And the changes.
So the first update that they had, because I didn't realize I've played 50 hours of that game.
Oh, that's pretty decent.
Decent chunk.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to start a new, fresh game. Not going to touch my old game. That's, to me, my head, done and dusted.
Yep.
I never saw the credits or anything, but fuck that.
Mm-hmm.
Start a new one. Try out the whole new system that they're building with the free lanes. I don't know if I'm going to get the DLC until I play it and see if it is a game that I want to commit to playing.
Yep.
I'm not going to get Shattered Space because I've read nothing but negative reviews about it. But I'm really intrigued. Yeah. So as soon as that update comes out, I'll give it a go. And I'll be able to report back to you. So this Tuesday, it drops? Or Wednesday. So Saturday, I should have a little synopsis of my experience.
Nice. Well, that'll be fun. So.
And I also thought, what if Mass Effect had co-op in it? That would be so much fun.
Well, it's funny you mention that because it technically did in a multiplayer focused setting.
No, not that mode, even though that was fun. No.
It was fun.
I'm
It was
talking
very
about
fun.
single player. That campaign, if it had up to 4 people or 3 people, because you have 2 people with you, sure, it would be an interesting approach because then your conversations with the crew are kind of missed, but that would be so much fun because I'm playing it right, obviously.
Yeah.
And I just think this game has so much potential having a cooperative experience where you could have someone with you. It's there. You have 2 other people. It's there. You could do it. I wonder if there's a mod. Oh god.
I mean, that's maybe a possibility. How much? I don't really know. I just look at this stage. I'm kind of the mindset that unless they go off and make a whole new game, and personally, I would want it set pre Mass Effect series anyway, then sure, go off and add a cooperative element, make it so that people can experience the game together, or you can even make a multiplayer MMO style game. Because I think the game is ripe for that type of gameplay. I'm honestly surprised that what's the studio? BioWare didn't consider going, how can we actually maybe turn this into an MMO? We'll set it, 50 years in the past and have
so much time to play with.
Yeah, and have it so that you can lead it up to whatever the events of the main game are, but you've got just all this storytelling that's happening. And then if you wanted to, you could even move it forward so that players feel like they're actually part of that whole story aspect playing out in real time in relation to the original game. But look, maybe that was something that was discussed in the studio and they went, we don't have enough money. We can't justify doing this. How well did the Star Wars MMO really do that, it's worth doing this for Mass Effect? I don't know. But it would have been such a good world and such a good play space to do it with. And you're right.
I feel like
it would be cool if you could jump on a spaceship and go on. Sorry.
No. I was just going to say, I feel like there's so much potential with a co-op, even for their rumored 4th game that they're making.
Yeah.
To have that capability of, well, you can have similar to what Baldur's Gate does, where you could have your preset characters, so your Garrus, Tali, the humans, Caden and Ashley, and the other one that I haven't got unlocked yet.
Yeah.
Or you could have
Liara.
one of them and have another person with you because the systems are there. And if Mass Effect 3 had that online system, then why not play with that more? And honestly, you're so right. There's so many years that have built up to the moment that Mass Effect 1 starts that you could fuck around with moments of the past and go, yeah, let's look at this particular era. We can put in the war that the
humans versus the Taurians.
Yeah, but there was the other war. Yeah, I mean the humans and the Taurians. Do that. Explore that. Make that playable. And you're right. for a company that's so involved with their storytelling, have that continuation of, well, your character does have an impact on how Mass Effect is. Sure. But now I want that game.
Yeah. Yeah, there's room for development, there's room for storytelling within the world, but it's really a case of, are they creative enough and interested enough to delve into that? Or is it worth them just exploring something completely different? Because as far as we're concerned, the old guard of Mass Effect are long gone. And I am concerned what 4 is going to be anyway, because it's so many years apart from the originals. And I'm sure the gameplay will be fine, but will the storytelling and the world building be congruent? Will it feel like it's a continuation, or will it feel like we're going to have new modern politics infused into this world because someone hasn't read the fucking Bible and doesn't understand what the actual world building is about, or find ways to infuse new races that maybe exist as a means to tell more modern views and values. So we'll see. Man, I actually had fun news recently that Kate brought up to my attention. Orville is potentially coming back, which
What?
I'm so so apparently he's had Seth MacFarlane? Yeah, I think it's Seth MacFarlane. He's had the script done for a while. The problem is he's working on so many other projects that it's a matter of time. But once he gets a bit more availability on his schedule, then it'll be straight onto this. But the script is basically done. And I'm like, that is fucking awesome. I'm so excited. It annoys me that I have to wait because I feel like we've waited long enough for it. So. Give me more. Give me more. I'm telling you, you got to watch it. You have to watch Orville. First season's a little bit like it's good, but I think season 2 and 3 is where it really just smacks. Just really smacks. Worth checking out. If you're into Trek,
yeah.
As far as I'm aware, what people say online, it is the next closest thing that seems to do better justice than some of the more recent Star Trek approaches that they have tried to release. But
Jesus, there's a decent amount of episodes too.
Yeah, 3 seasons? It's not long, but yeah.
Are they 20-minute episodes or 40?
I think they're 40. They're a little bit longer. Yeah, so they're lengthy. Yeah. They're fun. Really good show, really fun dynamics, great character development. Just all around amazing. Anyway, it's getting late. I need to go to bed.
Yes.
Street Rat, where can we find you?
You can find me at straightrat_atlas on Twitch, YouTube, and Blue Sky and Instagram. I go live on Wednesdays, Saturdays, but on my Discord server, I do post my schedules, so I will add extra streams depending on my work schedule that I've recently designed. And my current game that I'm playing is Mass Effect, which is really fucking fun. So join me as I go trekking through the stars, finding the secrets of the universe. But where can we find you, Jake?
You can find me on Twitch and on YouTube at Jake_Stavik. And you can find me streaming on Wednesdays and Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. Melbourne, Australian Eastern Time. Wednesdays I'm doing Crimson Desert, and Saturdays I'm doing Baldur's Gate with Street Rat Atlas, and obviously our little podcast afterwards as well. So you can catch us on our corresponding channels. Everyone, have a wonderful time. Thank you so much, Street Rat. Take care. Look after yourselves. Have a safe and happy Easter, and we will see you next time. See ya.
Bye.